This game is an annual highlight on our schedule, but this year we're taking it next level. Welcome to Fenway Park, home of the Boston Red Sox, and the 45th annual Secretaries Cup. Today, here in the shadow of the Green Monster, the Merchant Marine Mariners take on the Coast Guard Bears. Robert Lee, Craig Harbert, thrilled to be back with you. Craig, every year this game's got a lot of buzz around it, but the excitement here at Fenway is off the charts.
Partner, rivalries make sports, and this is one of the most underrated rivalries in all of college football, so much so that the normal home and home series could no longer contain this rivalry. They had to move it to one of the most historic venues in all of sports, Fenway, and that gives you a little bit of a glimpse of how great and underrated this rivalry truly is.
If you've never seen this game, it's kind of like a D3 Army-Navy game. These players aren't going to go on to play on Sundays in the NFL. They're going to serve our country and protect our freedoms.
Yeah, as we watch the game of college football change now with NIL, conference realignment, today is a great reminder of what it could truly be all about, because as you mentioned, there's a greater purpose than football to all of these players who will be on the field. They will go on to serve this country, but for today, it is truly about the love of the game and this great rivalry.
We could talk all day about how meaningful this game is. Let's take the next 2 minutes and show you what these academies and this rivalry is all about.
America's strength has always come from the sea.
Cold statistics do not, however, reflect the true story of enduring courage and heroism.
Two service academies stand as champions of that legacy. The United States Coast Guard Academy.
Coming to the Coast Guard Academy, the aspect of discipline and the standard of discipline has shaped me into the man I've become today.
And the United States Merchant Marine Academy.
Being a King's Pointer means being selfless, making sacrifices, and dealing with adversity head on.
Now, in a time where freedom of the seas is challenged, the Coast Guard and Merchant Marine are paramount to national security and U.S. sovereignty.
What makes the Secretaries Cup special is, guys on both sides of the field at this point are committed to serving the country following graduation.
The cadets are required to participate in football.
The Secretaries Cup is more than football. It's a battle of grit, pride, and service. Coast Guard versus Merchant Marine. Rivals on the field, partners at sea.
After graduation, we are going to be serving the country together.
There's an extreme level of trust between both the Merchant Marine and the United States Coast Guard.
It's important because Coast Guard is a huge force on the ocean
And keeps merchant mariners safe while they continue commercial trading and supporting the military.
They're out in the water, they're trusting us to keep them safe. They call us, we'll be there.
To sustain the fight, we need everything, and we deliver.
with the Merchant Marine. It's a huge industry for the maritime domain. Having good partnerships between them both will lead to smooth operations on the ocean.
The opponent that we're facing is going to be right next to us in the fleet, executing the mission side by side. It's bigger than football.
This year, they'll meet under the lights of Fenway Park. Every play honors the men and women who dedicate their lives to protect and defend our freedom. Across the seas and to the far ends of the earth.
Let's do this. The 45th annual Secretaries Cup from Fenway Park in Boston, Mass. It's Merchant Marine, the Mariners from Long Island, taking on the Coast Guard Bears from New London, Connecticut. You see their records on the season, both having excellent years in the new MAC, which is the Division III conference they both play in. Coast Guard currently in second place at 5-1. Merchant Marine 4-2. Springfield has locked up the automatic bid at 6-0. New faces on both sides of the ball this year. We're going to feature Merchant Marine's new quarterback, sophomore Bubba Mustaine.
Yeah, for Merchant Marine's triple option attack, all things run through the quarterback. And with Bubba Mustaine, they have a big physical runner. He has rushed for more yards than he's thrown for and has more rushing touchdowns than he has passing TDs, but he's still an effective passer that can really make this offense even more dangerous.
On the other side, Coast Guard has a running back, Harrison Hensley, who's putting up numbers that are worthy of the league Offensive Player of the Year.
The Coast Guard coaching staff called him a complete football player. He's rushed for over 1,300 yards, and in this rivalry game a year ago, a Coast Guard win, he rushed for over 100. Not only is he a dangerous runner, they will also throw to him out of the backfield, and at times you got to watch. He could be at Wildcat. You always have to know where number 3, Henley, is.
So some of the pregame pomp and circumstance on the field, those are the Department of Transportation and the Department of Homeland Security secretaries in the middle there with the referees. And they'll be joining us at halftime up here in the booth to talk about what this game means to both academies. That is the Coast Guard head coach, C.C. Grant. In his 5th season, he has built the team up from 2 wins to 7 wins this year. And he's hoping to win an 8th game for the first time since 2007 at the Coast Guard Academy. On the other side, Merchant Marine is led by 5th-year coach Jamison Kroll. He has led them to winning records in each of his first seasons. He's in his 5th year as well, 24-12. 4th season full, 1 year. His first year they played only 1 game during the COVID year. It was against Coast Guard. They won that game. Coast Guard is in the black jerseys today. Merchant Marine in the white. Crowd in a frenzy. Last 5 meetings, Coast Guard broke a 5-year losing streak to Merchant Marine last season. They have not beaten Merchant Marine in back-to-back years since 1997, and they are looking to do that here today for the first time in almost 30 years.
If you want a reminder of how important this rivalry is, you just said it. During the COVID year, only 1 game was played.
Right.
It was this game.
There is a definite buzz in this building. Craig, we are ready to go. We do this game just about every year. We're fired up. Connor Bates is the kickoff specialist for Coast Guard, which won the toss. They deferred to the second half. Back deep to receive is Chase Shavy at the 5-yard line for Merchant Marine. Again, Coast Guard in the black, Merchant Marine in the white. And we're ready to go in front of a big crowd here at Fenway. Bates has it teed up at the 35. And we are underway in Secretaries Cup 2025. The kickoff is taken by Shavy at the 8-yard line. Shavy hit right away and dropped at the 16. Excellent coverage by Coast Guard. And Merchant Marine will take over on offense with sophomore quarterback Bubba Mustaine.
And Mustaine, he's a big quarterback within this. Just probably one of the bigger quarterbacks they've had, at least in the 5 years since I've been doing this game. And because of that, he is a physical downhill runner, but he's got a strong arm and a great command for this offense.
You talked about that big frame, 6'1", 210 from Oro Valley, Arizona, the Tucson area. He is a sophomore. You see his numbers on the season. Only throws the ball about 10 times a game on average. First play of the game is a run for Mustaine. He's stacked up and dropped for maybe a yard on the play.
And that's the challenge for this Coast Guard defense every year, facing this triple option attack. So many ways that Merchant Marine can move the football with the dive to the fullback, getting it out to the edge on a pitch. So for Coast Guard, it's all about being assignment sound throughout the afternoon.
Mustaine leads the team with 846 yards rushing. He'll run it again over the left side. Runs over a man past the 20 to the 22. Will set up a 3rd down for Merchant Marine on its first drive of the game. Merchant Marine comes in 6-2. Come off a win over WPI last week. And 4-2 in conference play.
You got a little bit of a glimpse of how physical Mustaine could be as a runner there, powering himself to get him into a 3rd medium.
He'll hand it off to the fullback running over the right side, and he is close to the first down, but looks like he's a little short at the 26.
That'll be interesting. Inside 3 yards, Merchant Marine is not afraid to go for it. Now they are on their own side of the field, but I think they feel with their offensive attack, that offensive line, they should be able to pick this up.
They're going to go for it from their own 26-yard line to start the game on 4th and 1. Jamison Kroll, aggressive decision here. 4th and 1, will it pay off? They snap the ball and they hand it off. Mustaine keeps over the right side and he fights his way forward. Close to the first down at the 27. Blake Delavan stacked him up. It is enough for a first down.
Yeah, they had to defend it, but Mustaine He's going to pull it, get to the edge. You see number 17, he is there, but they say low man wins. Mustaine, we talked about his size, his physicality. He was able to push his way forward. And I guarantee you, talking to this coaching staff this week, the Merchant Marine defensive coordinator was probably the first one over there telling them to go for that on that 4th and 1.
They want to control the ball. Merchant Marine, a primarily running offense. And it'll be Mustaine keeping it over the left side, has a hole, bounces outside 35, spinning his way forward to the 40 for a Mariners first down to the 42-yard line.
We're seeing the execution there from Mustaine. He's going to give, he's going to pull once that defender crashes down, gets a nice block on the edge, and then some style points, a little bit of a spin there running downfield.
Averages about 106 yards a game rushing. Does Mustaine, top 25 in the country. Fullback is Danny Ferris. In motion, Endicott. Mustaine pulls it, runs over the left side, and is brought down at the 45-yard line after a gain of 3. Noah Rohr, number 24, finished him off. Again, this is a Merchant Marine team that runs for 272 yards a game. That's 6th in the country. On the other side, Coast Guard is one of the worst teams in the country at stopping the run. And we talked to Coach Kroll. What are the keys to the game? Control the ball. Long clock-eating drives. Keep Coast Guard's powerful offense off the field. He also said, embrace the moment. Mustaine again. And it'll be 3rd down.
We're seeing early on what a big part of this offense that Mustaine is. But not necessarily big explosive plays. Once again, they got themselves into a 3rd and medium, and you know they're looking at 2-down territory. If they even just pick up 2 yards, they'll go for it again on 4th.
Especially here from midfield. 7 carries so far for 28 yards. All running plays. Mustaine will make it 8 running plays in a row, bounces it outside to the left, turns upfield, drives his way forward for a first down across midfield. Ethan coming there on the stop, but not until a 6-yard gain and a first down.
Talked about Coast Guard Merchant Marine embracing the moment. This drive thus far fits their MO. This is who they are. This is how they want to operate. They haven't even thought about putting it up in the air yet.
They've taken almost 5 minutes off the clock already. And it's a fullback handoff up the middle for a solid gain on first down of about 5 yards for Danny Ferris.
Sense a theme, first down dive. 2nd, 3rd down, Mustaine.
Danny Ferris, one of the team's leading rushers, a senior from Andover, Massachusetts, about half an hour north of here at Fenway Park.
They just checked in number 79, Lucas Grock. He offensive lineman / tight end, so they actually have an extra big body here to the right of Mustaine.
Mustaine keeps, bounces it outside to the left, and has another Merchant Marine first down. Tackle made again by Ethan Cumming, the safety, but not until the Mariners move the sticks again.
They ran away from the strength there. You see the defense collapse down. He pulls it, has a lead blocker, another nice gain. Again, you see uniform. We'll see if they stick to that here with the fullback dive on first down. Try to set the tone a little bit with 2 to 3 yards, and then put it in their QB's hand.
You talked about what a physical runner Mustaine is. His head coach said his strength is running north and south. Get up and down the field, don't dance around a lot, as it's Ferris stopped after a short gain. But now 6 minutes off the clock already on this drive. They're inside the 30-yard line now, but this is what Merchant Marine wants to do, chew up clock and move down the field methodically.
But the way they're moving the football, Robert, it'd be interesting to see here as they start to get towards the red zone. If there is a play with the way they've been running it, pull it, play action, slip one of those receivers downfield.
This will be the 12th play of the drive. The first 11 have all been running plays. Will Surdez in there at fullback now. And it'll be Mustaine over the left side for a short gain. This will be one of the longer 3rd down conversions Merchant Marines had so far, as we're 6.5 minutes into the game, and this will be the 13th play of the opening drive.
Now their field goal kicker has a long of 44 on the year. Strong leg, a little bit of wind, if anything, to their back here. But I still think, Robert, even here, they're operating in 4-down territory.
3rd down and 6. Mustaine, play action. Throws into the far corner. Caught inside the 10 for a first down at the 5-yard line by Sonny Endicott. First passing play of the game makes it 1st and goal.
We talked about it just a moment ago, right? Using that run, sucking that defense up, having him constantly think about it there. Just a little bit of the fake, and he's got Endicott working downfield. How fitting that it should be number 1. Was Tellison Smith such a big part of this offense? Used to wear number 1.
Endicott, a sophomore from Colorado Springs. 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. Mustaine following his man forward. No, he handed off for Surdez. It's a Merchant Marine touchdown. Will Surdez, 2nd touchdown of the season, 6-0.
I saw what you saw. It seemed like he almost kept it because he went for the ride too. He did. You're going to watch Mustaine. He's going to hand it off to Surdez and watch him just follow behind and give a little bit
like
of a teammate push. Yeah.
Tush push, except it was the quarterback pushing the fullback, changing roles there. As it's a 3-yard touchdown run for Surdez. Carson Bai on for the extra point. Kick is up. Hooks it, but it is good. So Merchant Marine takes almost half of the first quarter on a 13-play, 61-yard drive. Will Surdez makes it 7-0.
Right? It's about the game. Keep your mind in the game. Now, there's been some very famous people that have come through here. Roger Clemens, Big Papi, Pedro Martinez, even Babe Ruth. But today, it's our house. It's our house. Hey, and we protect our house. Right? We pay rent all year. Today, somebody else is paying the rent. Let's get out of it. Come on. Have a hand.
CC Grant firing up his team before the game, but they watch Merchant Marine go on a 13-play drive that took half of the first quarter and score a touchdown. Carson Bai to kick it away. Short end-over-end kick will be taken on the near side at the 5-yard line. Dylan Truxon leaps over a man and is tackled at the 38-yard line. Good return for Dylan Truxon, and great field position for the powerful Coast Guard offense and new starting quarterback. First time we've said that in 5 years, Sean Burns.
Yeah, we're going to see Truxon first. He gets his seam, and watch him go airborne. You think about Coast Guard going by sea. He went high up like Superman style there. Looking good. But Sean Burns, yeah, this is an offense quite balanced in its attack. Sean Burns, unlike Joey Armstrong, who had led this offense for years, has a little bit more of that prototypical pocket passer size.
And he'll hand it off for Hensley, breaking it over the left side. Harrison Hensley breaking tackles and across midfield for a first down. Harrison Hensley, one of the best in the country, running the ball, a 15-yard gain.
We're seeing Coast Guard right out of the gate match the Merchant Marine Academy and the ability to run the ball on the ground. You know they're going to continue to feature Hensley a lot. 22 carries in the win a year ago.
It'll be a keeper for Burns. And he dives forward for a gain of about 4. Hensley averaging 154 yards a game rushing, 3rd in Division III nationally. He also has 16 touchdowns, top 10 in the country.
Yeah, just to give you an idea, Burns, who we just saw ran the ball, is actually 2nd on the team in rushing, but with 174 yards. It's Hensley who carries the load within their rushing attack.
Over 1,400 yards for the season now, and he'll get it again, a 6'2", 205-pound junior from the Tampa area, Riverview, Florida, and it'll set up a 3rd down. Hensley had a terrific game against Merchant Marine last year, dealt with a lot of injuries last year for head coach CC Grant, but had 22 carries, 114 yards, and a score in their win over the Mariners last season.
Yeah, it was really in this game last year that he finally broke out after battling those injuries. Now they're able to complement him with number 26, James Wheeler, who's healthy today as well.
He had 2 touchdowns in the Merchant Marine game last year as well. Burns back to pass. Quick slant pass is caught for a first down by Amr Badani inside the 35.
Yeah, just a little slant route. That's one of the things that Burns does really well. Those quick reads when he can get the ball out of his hand quickly on target. See, he sets, throws right to his receiver.
Quick snap and a handoff for Hensley. And dropped after a short gain just shy of the 30-yard line. That was Badani's 10th catch of the season. Merchant Marine has 2 big play wide receivers on the outside. All right, check that, Coast Guard does.
Yeah, they've got Matthew Labouliere, number 88. He's a big part of this offense. Brooke Destin, but we also see number 1, Armand Bardini, get involved. So a lot of weapons within this offense with Hensley, number 3, kind of being the anchor.
Burns at quarterback, fakes the handoff, has all sorts of time, throws it deep down the middle for Desta. He's got it for the Coast Guard touchdown. 31 yards makes it 7-6.
Bit of point, counterpoint here. Coast Guard responds. Great time in the pocket. He throws it, and it looks like number 22. Shavy had the angle, just misplayed it. Good concentration here by Desta to bring it in.
Caleb McClure's extra point is up. It is good. Here we go. 5 minutes left to go, first quarter. Merchant Marine 7, Coast Guard 7. Desta his 8th touchdown of the season.
Coast Guard matches Merchant Marine Academy. We've got some scoring in a baseball stadium. We're seeing some early grand slams on the field.
The College Football Playoff begins December 19th and concludes with the National Championship January 19th on ESPN.
Coast Guard answers with a long touchdown pass to Brooke Desta, senior from San Diego. Makes it 7-7. And when you're talking service academies and kids that are going to serve in the military, they don't come out throwing jabs to feel you out. They come out throwing haymakers. We're underway here.
Yeah, this has been an aggressive start. Both offenses have certainly shown their power, really with both teams being led. We saw how the way Bubba Mustaine was able to drive Merchant Marine down, and then Coast Guard quickly came out and countered with Harrison Henley, and then a nice throw from Sean Burns to Desta.
Burns' 18th touchdown pass of the season. And back out to kick it away is the kickoff specialist, Connor Bates. Desta's 29th career receiving touchdown. He's one of the best Coast Guard has ever had at the receiving position. Chase Shavy at about his own 7-yard line to take the kick. And his head coach said he thinks he's very close to breaking one. This will drive him all the way back to the 1. He turns the corner out past the 20 and out of bounds around the 25-yard line. Merchant Marine's first drive was exactly what they drew up in the locker room.
Yeah, this was their offense to a T. Methodical, it's working it downfield. Most of those series would start with a dive by the fullback, and then ultimately second, third down, Mustaine would keep it. They were challenged for the 4th down. They would go ahead and go for it, and then ultimately they got that ball down there with the pass from Mustaine, and then finished it on the ground with Cerdez. A little help from his QB.
So Merchant Marine took 7.5 minutes for their scoring drive. Coast Guard 2.5 minutes. We're tied at 7. Mustaine picking his way over the left side and dives forward close to a first down. Looks like he's got it at the 36. J.L. Cuellar, the cornerback there after an 11-yard gain.
They got a really nice block there from number 25, Dallas DeForest as well. You're going to see number 25 come in. He's going to see number 47, the way he's able to block, hook him, give Mustaine a nice running lane.
47 is Coast Guard's leading tackler, Lucas White, a junior from Alaska. 91 tackles on the year. Good drive starter there for the Mariners. And it'll be Mustaine again over the left side. Bounces it outside and has room. He's across midfield, driven out of bounds after another first down by the safety, Ethan Cumming.
little fired up there on the sideline. Enemy territory over there. Even though they're both sharing the same side, he just wound up on the wrong side of the sideline there.
It is a little unusual. Both teams are on the same sideline. Merchant Marine on the far side left and Coast Guard on the far side right. Just some of the quirks of playing a football game here at Fenway Park, a baseball stadium.
Officials, though, letting him play a little bit. He drove him pretty deep into that sideline there.
18-yard gain for Mustaine. Bonte is the fullback. And it'll be a handoff for Bonte over the left side. A gain of about 2 or 3. Seamus Bonte Jr. from Westerville, Ohio, near Columbus. 436 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns coming in.
The Coast Guard has done a solid job here early on of defending that fullback dive. It's really been when number 3, Mustaine, has held on to it that they've struggled.
Play action. Mustaine looking deep down the middle. For Reaney, he's got it. Ben Reaney breaks the tackle for a touchdown. 35 yards. The Mariners in the air. Call it 44 yards for the score.
Robert, the coaching staff told us that Reaney was kind of their version of Gronk in the sense that he can do a lot, be in line, but also with the way that he moves, being a receiving threat. They got the one-on-one matchup there. So the way Reaney was able to bring it in, keep his balance, and then ultimately take it all the way.
Reaney's 3rd touchdown catch of the season from 44 yards out. Extra point is up. It is good.
No choppy seas here today. Both offenses are sailing right along. Can Coast Guard come back and counter again as Merchant Marine Academy takes the lead?
Merchant Marine puts another score on the board as we look back at Coast Guard's last scoring drive. 4 plays, 75 yards for Merchant Marine. Took just under 2 minutes and they do it through the air.
Yeah, you look the contrast between that opening drive of the game where they were able to work it downfield. That one very much a quick strike.
Truxton had a good return earlier. He takes this kick at the 6-yard line. Dylan Truxton turns upfield and is ridden down past the 25. Where Coast Guard will go on offense 1st and 10 as we look at their last drive.
Yeah, they featured their top runner, but they got great field position off of this exciting return where Truxton would go airborne. Then they would give a healthy dose to number 3, Harrison Henley, who you know is going to be a big part of this offense all day long. But they ultimately capped it off with that nice throw from Burns to number 10, Brooke Desta.
So Burns, a sophomore from Absecon, New Jersey, just outside of Atlantic City, will take the shotgun snap to start the drive and hand it off. There he goes! Harrison Hensley in the open field. It's a foot race, and he's brought down at the 30-yard line. Harrison Hensley took it for a huge gain and a first down of 42 yards.
Just going to get Hensley down the hill. You see the lead, 2 lead blockers, the tackle and the lead fullback, creating a great seam. Then he's off to the races. Merchant Marine able to track him down.
Hensley gets it again and plows his way forward for a good gain, a little bit shorter this time to the 23. Now, it's got to be said, Coast Guard played in a game earlier this year where they beat Nichols College by a score of 92-60. That is not a typo. I'm not saying 92-60 is going to happen today, but these teams are going at it up and down the field.
They're not giving you any reason to not say that.
They had 64 points at halftime in that game. They've got a ways to go to get there here, but each team has scored every time they've had the ball so far. Burns, all day to throw, down the middle, wide open. Oh, he dropped it. Dropped the ball. Harrison Hensley had a touchdown.
Sometimes it's the easiest ones are the toughest to catch. Talked about early on the versatility that Hensley brings. They slip him out of the backfield. He is uncovered. Probably figured he was ready to just waltz into the end zone. Could not find a handle. Big missed opportunity there for Coast Guard.
how worried should Merchant Marine be about how much time Burns has to throw the ball?
Yeah, they're going to need to be able to get pressure. Obviously, he's got a strong arm. They've got to really try to force him to kind of go through his reads. Remember, a year ago, he was in the secondary for this team. He transitioned to quarterback in the offseason, so still learning.
He'll run it over the right side this time for a first down. But Coast Guard really is a balanced offense. They're averaging 42 points a game this year.
Yeah, they are balanced but explosive. They've been very even in the way they've picked up touchdowns both on the ground, through the air, but you talk about what they did earlier this year, going 90 plus. But the reason why they are explosive is because they can attack you on the ground and through the air.
And it's a good job defensively there by Merchant Marines' James Gleason to stop Harrison Hensley for a short gain. Coming up on 1 minute to go in an exciting first quarter.
So you're in second and long if they continue to give it to Hensley, or with some of the time, as you mentioned, Rob, they've been getting if they go back in the air.
It's a run for Hensley, pushing his way forward. And Merchant Marine, obviously a primarily running team, but Coast Guard can do it both ways.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the balance. You can see the way that they've picked up first downs, the way that they've gotten into the end zone, the balance between the yardage they've picked up on the ground and through the air. They really contest defenses by making you defend the whole field and not just key in on one aspect of their attack.
Now again, this is a little unique because they are very far away from their coaching staff and the sideline right now. They're about 50 yards away, getting the signals in from the sideline on the next play with 10 on the play clock and 15 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Third down. 2 on the play clock. Burns takes the snap. Looking far side, wide open, Desta. He reaches for the end zone. He's down at the half-yard line, which is how the first quarter will end. Coast Guard will have it inside the 1 when the second quarter begins. Let's catch our breath.
Yeah.
Wow. There have been 3 possessions. Each team has scored a touchdown on all 3 possessions, and the 4th possession is at the half-yard line when we come back for the second quarter.
Setting the table for potentially more scoring. Desta is just short. Can Coast Guard punch it in and tie it up?
Plenty of pageantry and pomp and circumstance as you would expect before the game. There was a fan fest out in left field. They honored a lot of alumni and current Coast Guard and Merchant Marine folks. And the Green Monster scoreboard got a workout with the photos. I mean, there must have been 1,000 photos taken of the hand-operated scoreboard out in left field. We're here at Fenway Park in Boston, Mass, home of the Red Sox for the Secretaries Cup 2025. Coast Guard in the black jerseys looking to even the game with a tush-push against Merchant Marine in the white jerseys, and they will. There is a flag down. It is a touchdown for the moment for Burns. There is a flag down on the near side. I think it's going to go against Merchant Marine. Our official today, our referee, Craig McDonald, first time we've heard from him. Coast Guard pulls within 1.
They're crazy that we went through that first quarter with all that action, and that was the first penalty of the game.
8-play, 72-yard drive for Coast Guard, and on the verge of tying the game with an extra point from Caleb McClure, a freshman from the Atlanta area. Kick is up. Kick is good. The 5th touchdown run of the season for Burns.
Yeah, just QB sneak, getting him behind there. Just powered his way in, never even hit the ground, just able to win at the line of scrimmage, but it was the big pass downfield. The Desta that was just short of the end zone that set that up right at the end of the first quarter.
We mentioned in the pregame that this is kind of a Division III Army-Navy game. Maybe you're not familiar with these academies. Let's get you familiar. Coast Guard is based in New London, Connecticut. They used to be under the Department of Transportation. Now, when DHS started Homeland Security, they moved over there in 2003. What do? Mainly search and rescue at sea, inspections at sea, things along those lines. Merchant Marine, Kings Point, Long Island, North Shore of Long Island, they are part of the Department of Transportation. They are midshipmen, they're students, they protect commerce ships. They're kind of a supply chain for the Navy. One of the most unique parts about Kings Point midshipmen is that they have something called the Sea Year, which is the last 4 months of your sophomore year and 8 months of your junior year, where these players will just go out to sea and work on a ship for a year, sometimes as soon as the night of the Secretaries Cup.
Yeah, Robert, you and I have been doing this game for quite a few years, and there have been instances where after this game wrapped up, they'd be heading to the airport to go ahead and start that service on the ship.
Now the winner of this game is going to play in a bowl game next week, so they'll get an extra week, but the losing team today, their players could be on a ship as soon as this week coming up, somewhere around the world. Kick is away by Bates. It'll be Shavy to take it at the 6. Shavy picking his way forward and spun down past the 30-yard line. Again, 4 drives in this game, 2 for each team. Everyone has scored a touchdown so far. Merchant Marine back on offense. What have you seen from them so far?
Well, the way that their first 2 drives, talking about Merchant Marine, contrasted each other. That first one was a time-consuming drive, a little over 7 minutes. Their previous series where they scored, it was a much more of a quick strike. We'll see what type of approach that they start here.
Offensive coordinator Jim Kickle for head coach Jamison Kroll. Endicott in motion. Mustaine hands it off. Nope, he'll keep it himself and be driven down at the 35-yard line after a gain of 3.
You just got a taste of the quandary of those defensive linemen. Did he keep it? Did he give it?
It's based on deception, right? That's the beauty of the triple option offense. And oh, by the way, they've got a quarterback who can make throws this year as well. We're here at Fenway with our entire terrific ESPN crew. Robert Lee, Craig Hobart, pleased to be back with you once again for the Secretaries Cup this season. Coast Guard won it last year, broke a 5-year losing streak in the series, as it's another run over the right side. All-time series, Merchant Marine leads the Secretaries Cup portion 30-14. Overall, they've played more than that, but before the Secretaries Cup was established, the overall total, Merchant Marine 37, Coast Guard 16.
Merchant Marine really had a handle on this rivalry for quite a while, and last year Coast Guard kind of planted their flag into the field in terms of getting back into it with that win a year ago down in Kings Point, New York, Merchant Marine Stadium.
42-21, Coast Guard won that game last year. Big hole up the middle for a first down for Ferris near midfield. And we talked to Coach C.C. Grant of Coast Guard. He said they had a disappointing year last year. He thought they underachieved, but they came out, won their last game at Merchant Marine, and really boosted them through the offseason.
Well, the way they executed in this rivalry a year ago can make you see why Coach Grant felt that way, because that was an outstanding game that they had really played. It really almost felt like Merchant Marine Academy was in position for 6 straight, and that was an upset a year ago. This year, neither team would be an upset.
Mustaine, solid run up the middle on first down for 6 or 7. We take a look at that series history. We mentioned the Secretaries Cup started in 1981. This is the 45th all-time Secretaries Cup, but the all-time series 37-16 in favor of the Mariners. They've won 8 of the last 10, and we mentioned it at the top. Coast Guard has not beaten Merchant Marine 2 years in a row since 1997. Mustaine, first down inside the 40. For Merchant Marine, this is their 10th straight winning season, which is a school record.
And now this drive beginning to mimic a little bit more of that opening drive. Senior working on the ground, a couple of gives to the fullback there. It was an easy read for number 3, Mustaine. It was a soft edge. He pulled it, got around the corner.
You see head coach Jamison Kroll in his 5th year. Prior to that, spent 10 years as Merchant Marine's offensive coordinator and offensive line coach under legendary headman Mike Two. It's Mustaine keeping it over the left side, and he is spun down after a short gain on first down.
And a rare early on misread there by Mustaine. Should have gave it. Fullback had some good running room downhill.
And we talked about how Coach Grant said last year's game really boosted him. Hey, on the other side, Jamison Kroll said we were frustrated, we were embarrassed how we played last year. We played timid not to lose. And they got run off the field on their home field last year.
He told us earlier week that he told the team now we need to restore order.
We asked him, hey, did people reach out to you and try to cheer you up? He said, not really. It's mostly silence. Nobody wants to talk to you when you lose. Mustaine runs it over the right side, has running room inside the 30 and cut down inside the 25 for a first down by J.L. Cuellar on the tackle. But Merchant Marine moves the sticks again. 4 minutes gone in the second quarter.
Yeah, very similar to 2 snaps ago when he picked up the other first. You're going to give it, watch all the black jerseys come crashing down. You see all the green on the outside there from Mustaine.
22-yard run for Mustaine, who's nearing 100 yards in this game already. Actually, he's at 111 yards. 16 carries, 111 yards already in the second quarter. This will be a running play over the right side. So the fullback, Ferris, for a short gain.
Talk about those rushing yards. You got to remember, too, he's also had 2 nice throws through the air with one of those touchdowns coming to the tight end, Ben Rini.
There is an injured player on the field for Coast Guard. It's middle linebacker Riley Miller, a sophomore. We'll step aside for a quick timeout here. Tied at 14 in Boston. Here in Boston at Fenway Park, home of the Sox, tied at 14. We announced at halftime of this game last year at Kings Point that the game was going to be here. I think it's exceeded expectations.
Absolutely.
Fantastic atmosphere. The entire student body of both academies is here. For Coast Guard, that's about 1,000 cadets. And for Merchant Marine, that's about 500 midshipmen. Merchant Marine also has about 350 kids out at sea. You know they're watching online today. Bubba Mustaine for Merchant Marine takes the snap and runs it over the right side, lowers his shoulder, and is dropped at the 15-yard line to set up a third down.
This was the year that had it been a home and home, would have gone back to Coast Guard. This has been a great environment, great setting. I will say this, a hidden gem in college football. If you live in the Northeast and you get a chance on a Saturday in the fall to go see a game at Coast Guard, one of the nicer settings in all of college football, right there on the water. So do yourself a favor, but you can see why they raised the stakes this year, bringing it to Fenway.
It's on the Thames River in New London, Connecticut, really close to the Atlantic Ocean, Long Island Sound. From the 14-yard line, third down. 4-down territory here. Mustaine keeps. He'll pick up the first down and more inside the 10. Still driving his way forward to the 5. And it'll be first and goal.
Really nice ball handling from Mustaine. Good patience as well. Really let that defense kind of feast down on the dive. He pulled it. There's going to be a seam. Watch him pull. He's going to wait a second and then let that opening develop, and he hits it. And then again, there's no sliding with Mustaine for the running quarterback.
6'1", 210. Different body type than they've had the last several years at quarterback. He'll keep again. He'll run up the middle for a Merchant Marine touchdown. 5-yard run for Bubba Mustaine, 20-14.
He brought it down, give on the dive. He saw the black jersey, come down, crash down, take the dive. There was a seam for Mustaine to hold it. Now he's helped one get in there with a little bit of a push. He's put one through the air into the end zone with his arm, and now the QB goes ahead and finishes this drive on his own.
Carson By on for the extra point. Kick is up. Oh, hooked it badly. It's no good. 5 drives, 5 touchdowns.
Each team's offense is moving today. Merchant Marine Academy takes it downfield. Bubba Mustaine finishes this drive on his own to recapture the lead.
Merchant Marine has 10 sets of brothers, or 10 siblings, I should say, whose brothers are either on the team now or played before. You see the whole list there, Zadok Holub and Gage Holub, both on the team right now towards the bottom. But Bubba Mustaine, the quarterback, you may remember his older brother, CJ Mustaine, graduated in 2022, 36 tackles for loss, 17 sacks in his career. Did you know they're from Arizona? They had a third brother. He did not go to Merchant Marine. Tyler Mustaine is a sophomore tight end at Arizona.
Got anything to do with the hairstyle? The other two a little bit higher and tighter. Tyler a little bit longer locks.
Not sure how that flies at the academy, if at all. Mustaine's touchdown run is his 10th of the season.
I think, we see that too. I think the coaching staff at the Merchant Marine Academy takes pride in that, because I think it shows that the families show a lot of trust in what they're doing to develop those young men, that one brother goes and they send another.
Bye's kick is taken by Freddie Barber, who has room. Freddie Barber trying to beat the kicker, gets by him, trying to get the angle, and he's driven out of bounds by Danny Ferris, but not until he gets across midfield. Special teams has been very much in Coast Guard's favor so far.
Yeah, great field position. Here, just going to reverse field. Good blocking on the backside. You see them able to get a body on a body, then the kicker's not able to get there, and ultimately Ferris is able to knock him out of down. But Coast Guard's going to get a chance here to respond in plus territory. See off of that nice return too, if they go ahead and take a shot.
42-yard return puts it to the 42-yard line for a team that averages 42 points a game. It's a straight snap to Hensley on the Wildcat. Picks his way forward inside the 40. All offense, which is fun for us to watch. The defensive coordinators may not like it as much.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and lean into the theme here. And both teams are just swinging for the fences here early on.
And you heard C.C. Grant reference some of those Red Sox greats of the past in his pregame hype speech in the locker room, which we saw earlier. Coast Guard trying to answer. Coast Guard in the black jerseys, Merchant Marine in the white Burns. Time, throws deep, far side for LeBouillier. Diving attempt incomplete. LeBouillier had 2 touchdowns and 130 yards receiving in this game last year.
Yeah, there was a shot I thought they might take off of the momentum on first down from that return. But looking to go downfield, this number 19, the senior Caleb Green, in pursuit, does a nice job staying with them, and a little bit just outside the stretch there of LeBouillier.
He leads the league with 10 touchdown receptions this year. LeBouillier Jr. from Pipersville, PA. Play action again. This pressure's on the sack. Ball's loose. Coast Guard recovers it at the 49. Trent Sterner, the safety, was one of the first men in there for Merchant Marine, and this will be the first punt of the game.
You had talked about earlier, Robert, they were unable to get pressure. This time they dial up and blitz, and they are able to get there. Up to this point, number 7, Sean Burns, has had plenty of time every time he has to pass back. This time the Mariners bring heat and get there.
Lucas Hubert is the sophomore punter. He'll be called on for the first time. He's at his own 38-yard line to punt it to Chase Shavy at the 10. Short, wobbly kick will bounce at about the 20, take an excellent Coast Guard bounce inside the 10 and be down at the 5-yard line. Merchant Marine's last victory in this series was their 5th in a row. It was back in 2023. And it looked a lot like their other victories have. A lot of short runs with quarterback Ben Carney, who was called on from his backup quarterback position to start that game, and they just ran the ball a lot. I think they had about a 24-play drive in that game. There was all running plays. They beat Coast Guard in New London by 12.
And here early on, they've been working that formula. And there's a lot of football to still be played. But the way that they are operating, if they can find a way to put more points on the board, start to widen that lead a little bit, could really press Coast Guard in terms of trying to catch up.
Backed up deep here from the 3-yard line. Mustaine hands it off. Nope, keeps it himself over the left side. Picks his way forward. Bubba Mustaine first down past the 15 to the 17.
I think if I saw that right, he stepped use one of his offensive linemen as kind of a step stool getting over there. Don't get in Mustaine's way. He's going to do whatever he needs to do. He's going to get yards. Once again, pulls it, gets around the edge. You're going to see a lineman go down. Whoop, he step right over him.
Matthew Grack doing anything to help the team. Go ahead, step on my back,
There
sir.
you go.
The center. Short handoff up the middle to Bonte. Bubba Mustaine has carried the ball 20 times. Now we're on the first half for 143 yards already. He averages about 106 a game.
And it's not, again, he's putting one in the end zone through the air as well.
Right.
And those two passes really hurt the defense because you just kind of want to sell out against the run, but they're so efficient moving the football. And then when they do run that play action, slip somebody downfield, they're able to create that big play through the air, which they've shown in flashes here early on.
This time a better job by the Coast Guard defense up front will set up a 3rd and long. If you've watched this game over the last several years, there's been one player that's been the focal point of the Merchant Marine offense. He was a receiver named Towson Smith, who was far and away the best receiver their school has ever had. He had over 3,100 yards in his career, 38 touchdowns, but their offense is a little more diverse without him in there now.
Yeah, it's much more by committee. I had misrepresented Towson Smith earlier. He was number 16. He was such a big part of this offense. He was the passing attack. Now several more players are involved.
And the Coast Guard head coach said Mustaine throws the ball as well as anyone they've ever had at the quarterback position, but it'll be another punt after a short completion to Endicott. Probably another punt. Yes, they will punt the ball. Merchant Marine will punt for the first time.
Yeah, right about on that cusp of where they would like to kind of go for it. And here in their own territory with the lead. Play it safe, play it smart, punt it away.
Calvin Evans, a freshman from near Portland, Oregon, will punt it away from his own 7-yard line. Back deep to receive is Freddie Barber, who just had a good kickoff return. The special teams has been very much in favor of Coast Guard so far. Pressure's on. Poor kick by Evans. Bounces short of midfield, bounces straight up in the air, and will be down right at about midfield. Again, the field position battle favoring the Bears. To a break, just over 4 minutes to go. Coast Guard back on offense. There's some video from yesterday of the Coast Guard Academy and their football team walking onto the field at Fenway Park. Certainly an exciting moment. Took a lot of pictures, threw the ball around a bit. Earlier in the day, they had a surprise walkthrough at Gillette Stadium down the road in Foxborough, where the Patriots won on Thursday night. They had a walkthrough at Gillette. Coast Guard's located in New London, Connecticut, about 2 hours southwest of here. So Foxborough's kind of right on their way into Boston, trying to win their 8th game of the year. Last time they did that, 2007, 18 years ago. It's Hensley. And he bowls his way forward across midfield for a gain of about 5.
Well, Coast Guard defense on that last drive stepped up, got the ball back to their offense. Now a big opportunity once again to try to close that gap that they now trail before the half.
And keep in mind, 3:40 left to go in the first half. Each team has all 3 timeouts, but Coast Guard will get the ball to start the second half. So they love nothing more than to run that 4-minute drill, get a touchdown, and then get the ball back to start the second half. Burns stands in, flushed, throws into traffic, incomplete. Dangerous pass intended for Amr Badani, about 4 Mariners defenders in the area.
Sean Burns, who was a quarterback in high school, came here as a quarterback. There was a greater need in the secondary when he arrived, so they moved him to safety. With Joey Armentrout moving on, he came to the coaching staff and said, hey, listen, I want to go back and try quarterback again. Head coach C.C. Grant had an open competition, and by the end of camp, he had won it. But there's still some points where he's learning, and you saw a little bit there. Maybe throwing back a little bit into some traffic, a little bit of a dangerous throw.
Pressure's on, throws the screen pass for Hensley. A lot of room, Harrison Hensley following his blockers for a first down inside the 35. Sterner there on the tackle, good play call by offensive coordinator J.B. Wells.
They're going to bring the pressure again. Well executed. Nice throw. Blocking downfield. Opportunity to pick up that first down.
I believe there's an injured Merchant Marine player. It's defensive end Sam McDonald. With just over 3 minutes to go in the first half. Special guests coming up at halftime. Two of the members of the cabinet, the Department of Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy and the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, will be up here in the booth. We'll talk to them in the first segment of halftime. But that's still 3 minutes, 2 seconds away. As they tend to McDonald, a senior from Phoenix, one of the captains of this team. He's up on his feet. Merchant Marine, often referred to as Kings Point, KP, that's what it says on the side of their helmets. That's where they're located, Kings Point, New York, North Shore of Long Island, Nassau County. Very nice area, we've been there many times. They left yesterday morning also, and they had their walkthrough at Harvard's football field, but they visited the stadium yesterday as well. This stadium, Fenway Park. They come in with a 6-2 record, 10th straight winning season for the Mariners. So McDonald is helped off the field. It'll be first down after that screen pass, 1st and 10. James Wheeler in there running back to the right of Burns. It'll be a design run for Burns. He plows forward over the right side for a gain of about 4.
Burns will be a part of that rushing attack as well.
I think it was Hensley. It was actually a wildcat snap for Hensley as Burns is coming back into the game. It was a wildcat snap straight to Hensley.
And the second time we've seen that again. Talked about in the opening how versatile he is and how many ways they'll use him. Coaching staff just called him a complete football player.
Head coach said, we'll leave anyone with the bus except for number 3. If he's not there, we're holding the bus. Evans throws near side, caught by Badani. He's got a first down inside the 25 as we come up on 2 minutes left to go, a gain of 8.
Yeah, giving him time. Actually had plenty of time to kind of go through his progressions. You're going to see him back there. He's going to start to his left, work his way back to his right. Able to find number 1.
2-minute timeout. 2 minutes left to go, first half. It's been a good one. Merchant Marine 20, Coast Guard 14. End of the first half after this. Coast Guard cadets, 1,000 strong, enjoying the game here today and hoping that their team can take the lead before the half. Merchant Marine leads at 20-14. You see the quarterback, Sean Burns. 6'2", he's having a decent day so far. Hasn't thrown it a ton, but very different than the player that they've had for the last 4 years at quarterback, Joey Armentrout, and we'll talk about that after this play. Burns back to pass, throws deep into the corner. LeBouillier, incomplete. Little bit overthrown, he was open. Armentrout, a 4-year starter for Coast Guard, but was a much shorter player than Burns.
Yeah, Coach Grant was saying as they recruited some bigger offensive linemen, it was getting a little bit tougher with those windows. Here, Burns a little bit more prototypical size, but second time he's just overthrown number 88, LeBouillier. As a defensive back went inside, they had him there. Missed opportunity.
No catches yet for LeBouillier. Burns will run it. Picking his way forward, has some daylight. Sean Burns, race to the corner. Touchdown! 24 yards, Sean Burns ties the game at 20.
Burns came in as their second leading rusher. This is the design QB draw, but he bounces it to the outside, gets good blocking, then to see some of the speed. There's our Coach Grant there in the corner of your screen, waving him along to get to the pylon.
Extra point is up and good, and that's the difference in the game right now. 7-play, 51-yard drive, 21-20. Coast Guard takes the lead.
And with the way that both of these offenses have responded today. It'll be interesting to see how that mixed extra point from the Merchant Marine Academy winds up playing a role as this game continues to unfold. But while we've seen Bubba Mustaine doing most of the running for the quarterbacks, Sean Burns counters, says, I can get it done as well.
His head coach described him as a, quote, typical Jersey Shore kid. Now take that for what it's worth, but he said he has a lot of self-confidence and moxie, but he's also very coachable.
And again, he's spent some time on defense, showed some toughness, and now on offense, continuing to show some of the toughness and running ability as well.
Now, Merchant Marine with 1:45 left. Again, this is not a quick strike offense like Coast Guard has. They want to work it down the field, 4, 5, 6-minute drives, but they do have an opportunity to take the lead before the half. Coast Guard will get the ball to start the second half. And again, timeouts are in play here. Each team has all 3 timeouts. So if Coast Guard senses Merchant Marine struggling to move the ball, they could call timeouts to stop the clock and get the ball back themselves before halftime. Connor Bates ready to kick it away for the Bears of Coast Guard. Lost to Springfield last week 30-10. Springfield, the perennial power in the league, but that broke a 7-game winning streak for Coast Guard. They had lost their first game of the season to the University of New England and then ripped off 7 in a row before losing to Springfield last week. But, you know, like, oh, 30-10, what a blowout. It was only 17-10 going to the fourth quarter. Pooch kick.
It's coming right for us.
And it's going to go out of bounds. So this is going to give Merchant Marine excellent field position. And C.C. Grant talked about that game. He said, you know, as the official Craig McDonald will make the call.
Yeah.
You know, 30-10 again. It's a 20-point loss. But he said 4 years ago, Springfield beat us 60-0. And that's how far we've come. The Springfield coach told him after the game, you guys have really improved the talent and development on this roster.
Yeah, he's really felt like they've set a new standard.
5 ball placed, 35-yard line, first down.
It's a good field position for Merchant Marine to the 35-yard line. And you see C.C. Grant, what a job he's done building this program. 2 wins in 2021 to 3 wins the next year. 5 wins each of the next 2 years. And now up to 7 wins this season with a chance for an 8th. Mustaine fakes right, goes left, breaks tackles, turns the corner, and a flag is down in the area of holding. Mustaine picked up about 8 on the play. And a quiet first half for Craig McDonald. It's going to go against Merchant Marine.
Offense, number 5, 10-yard penalty, 2 first down.
He sounds like he's from Boston. Ben Reaney on the hold.
It takes away some of that nice field position they started too. And obviously being behind the chains could change how, as you mentioned a moment ago, how Coast Guard attacks it. They can get a stop on first down, start to use those timeouts, see if they can get another chance at one more possession before the end of the half.
First down and 18 now. From the 27, Mustaine back to pass, throws near side, broken up, intended for Reaney. Ty Tamburino, the sophomore cornerback from Pittsburgh, the PBU.
Now with the incompletion as well, don't need to use a timeout. Tried to quickly get rid of that. Good coverage there from the corner, Tamburino.
That was Mustaine's 4th pass attempt of the game. We said he averages about 10 passing attempts a game, but his first incompletion. But as you said, it does stop the clock. So it's now 2nd and long with 1:36 to go before halftime. And you definitely expect Coast Guard to call a timeout unless Merchant Marine breaks off a big one here. Misdirection play, Mustaine running over the right side. And he is swarmed under at the 30-yard line. And Coast Guard will call a timeout. It's first with 1:25 to go.
Yeah, that combination of the penalty followed by the incompletion really set up Coast Guard nicely. While we've seen from the Merchant Marine Academy, the ability to hit some plays. Being in 3rd and long is not where this any offense excels, but especially one that is based within the triple option.
So it'll set up a 3rd and long here, 3rd and 14 for Merchant Marine. Yeah, do you just keep it on the ground and burn another timeout? I mean, this is not an advantageous situation for any offense, but for a triple option team, 3rd and 14 is not ideal.
Yeah, I mean, I would play to your strength, keep it in Mustaine's hands, because listen, we've seen he could potentially break one for a nice run. But you don't want to, at the very least, give Coast Guard the opportunity to hit that series with 2 timeouts in their pocket.
Again, coming up at halftime, the Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, the Secretary of Homeland Security, Christy Nome, will join us here in the booth. That's coming up at halftime. Coast Guard, part of the DHS, Department of Homeland Security. Merchant Marine, part of the Department of Transportation. 3rd and 14. Mustaine fakes the handoff, throws far side. It is caught, but well short of a first down. And Coast Guard not calling its timeout yet because it is 4th and about 3. Clock running here with 1:05 to go.
I think they're anticipating that as Merchant Marine is going to go for it. This is right in their wheelhouse, 3rd and short.
I think Merchant Marine should take another 20 seconds before they run this play. Now, there's only 50 seconds left. There's 18 on the play clock. If they don't get it, there's only going to be about 30 seconds left to go. So they're going to take their time here. Play clock's at 10, 45 seconds left.
They may even call a timeout.
They may just call a timeout, right?
To see if they could draw them offside.
But now there's only 36 seconds left. Merchant Marine does call a timeout. It's first. But interesting there, because there could have been a minute 10 left if Coast Guard called the timeout.
Well, this is where the history of what the Merchant Marine Academy does. From 3 yards and in, they have a history of going for it on 4th down. It's not unusual for them to go for it on 4th down. And with their offense, the ability to kind of push forward, I think they kind of got Coast Guard into thinking, you know what, they're slipping, talking about Merchant Marine, they're slipping back into their skin, so to speak, and they're going to go for it. Because your natural instinct would have been for Coast Guard to call a timeout there. Call a timeout, either forcing the run of play or to have to punt. But I think that with the resume that Merchant Marine and the way they've attacked 4th down over the course of the season kind of lulled Coast Guard to thinking they were going to go for it and allowed the Mariners to be able to eat some time.
And I think they are going to go for it here. As Mustaine's back out on the field, they're going to go for it from their own 42-yard line. This is a big play in this game because if Coast Guard gets the stop, they've got 2 timeouts and a short field to try to score again. 4th and 3, got to get to the 45. Mustaine, play action, throws far side, has a man, it's caught. It is caught by Angelo Semino. He'll take it in for a Merchant Marine touchdown. Cojones from Jamison Kroll. I don't know anybody who expected that that's what was going to happen on that play.
Just thinking, we were sitting there talking about timeouts and first downs, and Merchant Marine Academy had no plans to drop anchor. They went all the way.
Extra point is up and no good again. 69 yards to Angelo Semino. Wow, what a thunderbolt from Merchant Marine.
Once again, you get a little bit of the play action look. And that play action look freezes the secondary, allows the receiver, Semino, to be able to get downfield. Beautifully thrown ball. We've talked about the ability of Mustaine as a runner. He's made some really nice throws here this afternoon as well.
So what a turn of events, right? 26-21, the extra point was no good again. But instead of Coast Guard getting the stop there and having the ball at, roughly the 40 or 35 yard line going in the other way, Merchant Marine throws a bomb for a touchdown to Semino, his longest catch of the season by far. His previous long was 17 yards. He takes it in from almost 70, and now it's 26-21. Coast Guard still has 2 timeouts left, and they've done a great job in the return game.
That was a drive that started out behind the chains with a penalty, and they showed quick strike ability on that drive with that score coming on 4th down.
Buys kick, a very short kick. Caught by an up back. And taken to the 35-yard line. Now, Coast Guard can move the ball, but they've only got 23 seconds left. I gotta think they're a little stunned at that last turn of events.
I mean, they would be joining me. I'm a little stunned as well at the way that played out. The way the Merchant Marine Academy was able to execute that big play there on 4th down. You figured if anything, they were going to keep it on the ground, try to pick up that first. In a situation like this, you see how 1st down goes. You get a good positive gain, you start to run tempo. The key thing here, though, on the flip side for Coast Guard, you don't want to make a mistake and either allow to create a defensive score to quickly get the ball back to that Merchant Marine offense, so you got to be careful.
Fake the handoff. Burns feeling the pressure, throws deep near side, wide open. Caught! No, he dropped it. He dropped it. Chase Polite at about the 35-yard line, got turned around on the play. It takes 5 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, nice job here by Polite of finding an opening there against that coverage. I was a little bit to the outside, really forced Burns did his receiver to have to adjust and make that catch. He's missed a few big-time throws today.
Several throws where the wide receiver was wide open. He'll throw far side, high throw. Oh! Hook and ladder. Did the receiver possess it? So that's an interesting play there. Blaboulier caught it and then in one motion flipped it to Hensley. It is a catch. There's only 13 seconds left. Still 2 timeouts for Coast Guard.
He's going to get up. Bring it. It's going to hit the ground.
Yeah, that's an incomplete pass. That is an incomplete pass. Hensley did not catch the ball. Well, the question is, did Blaboulier possess it and then lateral the ball?
Yeah,
that's the question.
He went up, literally caught it and threw it. It almost didn't feel like he completed the act of the catch.
That's my theory on it too, but they do give him the 1st down to the 41-yard line. Only 13 seconds left. Burns throws over the middle, broken up, incomplete. Caleb Green, the pass breakup player, his defensive coordinator referred to as the vocal leader of the defense.
Remember, if you watch a lot of, they don't no replay here at D3, so they made the call there, but ultimately it was for a minimal gain.
And there's only 8 seconds left now. Now Coast Guard does have 2 timeouts. It will use one of them here. But they're roughly 59 yards away from the end zone, and their kicker's long field goal this year is 33 yards. So probably going to have to score a touchdown at this point with so little time left on 2nd and 10. Boy, no shortage of action here in this first half.
They've squeezed the whole game into a first half. Going to halftime, see what they could do for an encore.
These teams coming out throwing haymakers in the Secretaries Cup here at Fenway Park 2025. Merchant Marines won 8 of the last 10. The Coast Guard won last year, trying to go back-to-back for the first time in 30 years.
Now they can't take a shot. Again, they've had some opportunities. There's missed one in the end zone early on to Blaboulier. Had an opportunity on this drive with the throw to pull that. So there have been openings within the secondary of Merchant Marine to hit shots downfield. They just got to connect on them. So there is the opportunity, and I would fully expect Coast Guard to do so. So much so that Merchant Marine's basically in a prevent. They've got 3 defenders about 40 yards downfield.
And this is likely going to be the last play of the first half, given the amount of time it would take to run into the end zone from this point on the field. 3 players from Merchant Marine at their own 20. Burns trying to get away from Gleason. He is sacked. James Gleason, senior from Atlanta, ends the first half of the sack, and the Mariners lead at 26-21. And this Merchant Marine crowd is energized after an exciting first half here at the Fens. 26-21. Merchant Marine leads Coast Guard. When we return, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, the Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy join me here in the booth. 26-21, Secretaries Cup 2025. Back here at Fenway Park, normally 9 innings on the scoreboard in the manually operated Green Monster out in left field. Today it's 4 quarters and it's 2 quarters complete. Merchant Marine leads Coast Guard 26-21. Robert Lee, Craig Harbert back with you here high atop the 50-yard line in one of the suites at Fenway Park. Beautiful vantage point. What a great day we've had so far. Great weather and great action on the field. A lot of offense.
They've really just come out on fire, especially offensively. I'm sure the defensive coordinators at halftime are pulling their hair out, but these offenses have shown the playmaking ability that they have.
You know, you heard one of the secretaries say, who's going to have the ball last? Let's take a look at some first half highlights.
Yeah, well, this game started out with Merchant Marine Academy doing exactly what they wanted to do, possessing the ball, moving it downfield and scoring. Coast Guard would counter with Sean Burns, hitting it downfield, and then the Mariners would show, hey, you know what, we can get it done through the air as well, hitting his tight end, Ben Reedy, and then Coast Guard would get it back down, push it in, tie it up before Mustaine on this one on a keeper who's been very active, already over 100 yards on the ground in the first half as a rusher.
Burns answered with a 24-yard touchdown run, but the difference in the first half, a thunderbolt from Merchant Marine before halftime.
Yeah, you would think it was a 4th down. Would they punt? Would they just try to pick up the first down? Neither. They took a shot downfield to number 84, Angelo Semino. Shocked, I think, everybody except their own offense by being able to pull away on the lead there right before the half.
No shortage of offense in that first half. You look at the yards per play, per pass, huge offense in that first half. Which defense can get a stop? And very important, Coast Guard gets the ball to start the second half in what's been kind of a tennis match so far. Who can hold serve? Who can break to get a defensive stop? Exciting action. Second half promises more of the same. 26-21. Merchant Marine leads arch rival Coast Guard. Second half is coming up.
Go Kings Point. Beat Coast Guard.
Yeah, buddy. Couple celebrities shouting out the Mariners from Kings Point. I know you're a big Friday Night Lights fan,
Yes,
Craig.
Riggins. There you go. See him back in the football world. Really nice.
And their favorite team, the Merchant Marine Mariners, start the second half with a 26-21 lead. Robert Lee, Craig Harbert, our entire terrific ESPN crew with you from Fenway Park in Boston, Mass. Coast Guard will get the ball to start the second half. What's something you're looking for from each team?
Well, I think for Coast Guard, listen, both offenses have been rolling. I think the only thing offensively for Coast Guard is they've had some opportunities in the passing game that they've missed for some big plays. 2 of them are really for scores. One that right before towards the end of the half. For Merchant Marine Academy, more special teams, their kickoff coverage has to be a little bit tighter because Coast Guard's getting close to breaking one, and they've also missed 2 extra points that could ultimately play a big role as this game continues to go on. Defensively, I think both teams got to step up. Who can steal a possession, who can create a turnover could also be a big tide turner as well.
Yes, no turnovers in the first half of this game. Coast Guard was +2 in the turnover margin last year in a 42-21 win at Kings Point. Merchant Marine, also known as Kings Point, will kick it off. They are in the white jerseys. Coast Guard is in the black jerseys today. And it'll be Carson Bai, who missed 2 extra points to end the first half. He will kick it away from the 35-yard line. Coast Guard back deep to receive with 3 players at the 10. This will be Truxton, who had a good return. He'll take it from the 15. He's got a big hole. He's across the 40. And again, the special teams a mess for Merchant Marine, as Coast Guard's regularly starting from near midfield. 31-yard return.
But I don't feel like in the first half either, Robert, that we saw maybe the touches to number 3, Harrison Henley, that we thought. He's such a big part of this offense. Came in on the day over 1,300 yards rushing. As we see this Coast Guard kickoff return unit really getting close to breaking one.
They've regularly been starting from somewhere around the 40, 50-yard line, and they do so again here in plus territory from the 49. Sean Burns in that first half, 6 out of 12, 78 yards and a touchdown. Also ran for a touchdown. Takes a high snap, throws it to Hensley. Breaks a tackle and moves forward to the 46-yard line, a short gain. Broke the tackle of Aiden Graham, who was Merchant Marine's leading tackler.
Henley, I mean, he 22 carries a year ago in that win, over 100 yards.
10 for 87 today, so he's averaging almost 9 yards a carry. Wildcat snap to Hensley. See, they've gotten the ball to him on the first 2 plays, just like you said.
Yeah, it wasn't that he was absent in the first half, but he didn't seem to have played as big a role as you might have anticipated. I think the more that they can get him going too will continue to help Sean Burns settle in.
3rd down and 3. Gotta believe this is probably 4 down territory here for Coast Guard. And it'll be Burns on the keep. He's driven down close to the first down at the 39. Aiden Graham there again on the tackle. It is enough for a first down.
And a little bit of just a QB lead there.
Burns, we mentioned the 83 yards passing and a touchdown in the first half, 34 yards rushing, and actually 2 scores, a 1-yard run and a 24-yard run in the second quarter. Pressure coming off the edge. Keeping over the right side and picking up good yardage on the deception play, a gain of about 10 for Burns.
Yeah, excellent ball handling. They're going to bring pressure there off the edge. They both read on the handoff to Hensley. He's able to hold on to get a big gain.
This is a handoff for Hensley, picking his way forward and then bullying his way forward close to the 20. A gain of 8, solid drive. There is an injured player for Coast Guard on the field. Appears to be one of the offensive linemen. I think it's number 69, Spencer McKenzie, who has dealt with injuries all season.
Yeah, McKenzie had been a starter at that right guard position. They were happy to have him back. They were going to rotate him in along with Colin Jensen, number 76.
He is up quickly and off the field. As C.C. Grant has increased Coast Guard's win total from 2 wins 5 years ago to 7 wins this year, has not taken a step backwards. Won 5 games each of the last 2 seasons, and 7-2 this year, 5-1 in league play, and facing a second down from the 22-yard line. Hensley in the backfield, he'll get the rock. He'll have a big hole over the right side. Hensley breaking tackles inside the 10, to be 1st and goal. Gain of 13 and a first down.
There you see, bringing around the tackle, the tight end row. Plenty of running room there for Hensley as they're doing a nice balance here between Burns and Hensley on this drive.
From the 9. Hensley inside the 5.
Yeah, great push by that Coast Guard offensive line, just reestablishing the line of scrimmage, pushing that Kings Point defensive line back.
Hensley over 100 yards now. On 14 carries, 117 yards from the 4-yard line. Hensley about to take the Wildcat snap. From the 4. Harrison Hensley takes the snap, runs it over the left side, breaks a tackle and takes it in for a Coast Guard touchdown. Harrison Hensley's 17th rushing touchdown of the season. That one from 4 yards out.
Great blocking there by number 43 on the edge. Really helped give that lane there for Hensley, who lowered his shoulder and powered it in.
I told Caleb Green, I'm not going to try to run around you, as there's a flag down on the extra point. He saw Caleb Green, number 19, at about the minus, let's call it 1.5 yard line. And he said, no, I'm just going to run over you to get the last foot of this touchdown, even though he could have easily gone around him. There was a flag on the play, and I believe it will be a successful try for Caleb McClure.
And that was Evan Graham, who was leading around with an outstanding block.
So it is a successful try for Coast Guard. And it's 28-26. 11.5 to go. Coast Guard gets great field position and takes it in for the short field score. 28-26 in the Secretaries Cup. Hensley, touchdown number 17.
Yeah, following it around. Coast Guard comes out, starts this half as they have started the game, but putting points on the board, now taking the lead.
Okay, so there was a penalty against Merchant Marine on the extra point. They're now going to try for the 2-point conversion for Coast Guard. It's Hensley, and he pushes his way forward. He's in. So 2-point conversion for Hensley after the penalty on Merchant Marine, and it is now 29-26. So that's a costly penalty. It basically cost Merchant Marine a point as they got half the distance to the goal. Harrison Hensley runs it in for 2. And Octopus gets the 6, gets the deuce, 29-26. Some new pledges for the United States Coast Guard. Took their pledge out in front of the Green Monster in left field. Got a huge ovation from this crowd. Congratulations to those young folks. 29-26. Coast Guard has rallied back to take the lead over Merchant Marine early in the third quarter. Again, the 2-point conversion there extends the lead to 3. As Harrison Hensley starting to roll there on that drive for the Bears, who will now kick it away from the 35-yard line. With Connor Bates, the kickoff specialist. Back deep to receive Chase Shavy for the Mariners. Sidewinding kick taken by an up back. It's Staklosa McLean, one of the wide receivers, and he takes it out close to the 30. Special teams has been very much in favor of Coast Guard, including 2 big missed extra points.
Yeah, for the Merchant Marine Academy, they've missed those 2 extra points, and really it is the difference up until that penalty that allowed the Coast Guard to be able to go for the 2 and extend it to a field goal. So still within reach, but really should only be a 1-point difference instead of 3.
This series, as heated as it's been, has been mostly lopsided over the last 20 years or so. But a close one here today, still a long way to go. That 2-point game was back in 2010 as Mustaine runs it over the left side, breaks a tackle trying to turn the corner, and driven out of bounds past the 35. Interestingly, Carson Bai, he came into the game 4 for 4 on field goals, the kicker, and 21 for 22 in extra points. And he's missed 2 big ones here today. 8-yard run there from Mustaine.
And what's interesting too, not a lot of wind. I was down at the field, just not getting a clean shot on him.
And you factor that in with the major field position advantage that Coast Guard's had with their kickoff returns. They've really had a huge advantage in special teams today as Mustaine takes it over the left side for a first down to the 41.
Well, judging by the way this game has gone, though, Carson By will have his opportunity at more kicks.
Yes. I mean, there's been a lot of offense from the get-go. 14-7 Merchant Marine after one. 26-21 at halftime. Now it's 29-26 early in the third quarter. Yeah, he is really struggling and kicking like, you know, the swing like golf. Very much mental. He could be called on for a key field goal or extra point later in the game. Mustaine keeps again, short gain out to about the 45, call it 4 yards on the play. If you're Coast Guard's defense, how do you try to stop this Merchant Marine methodical attack?
Well, it's the thing, and it almost feels like that the Merchant Marine wants to come out in this drive and kind of maybe mimic what they did to open the game. Slow things down, especially off that Coast Guard score to start the half. Kind of put together one of those drives. That opening scoring drive was over 7 minutes long. You feel like Merchant Marine would love to do that again.
Stopped well there after a gain of 1. Coast Guard's defense stiffening up here. It'll be 3rd down and about 5. This is a big play in this game because Coast Guard really hasn't been stopped consistently when they've had the ball. Merchant Marine wants to keep it. Could be 4-down territory if they pick up some yards here.
Yeah, I think it is. I think if they can get 3 yards at least on this, they're going to line up 4.
Mustaine in that first half was 5 out of 6 for 140 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. He'll pitch it left for DeForest, and he's swallowed up and dropped. DeForest's 4th carry of the season, no gain. Dallas DeForest, the sophomore, had only 3 carries coming into the game.
They're going to pitch it out onto the edge. Wonderfully played by both Coast Guard defenders. Rohrer, number 24, has really been an active part of this defense there. Playing off the block, making the play.
Jamison Kroll is out on the field.
First down and 10.
You're saying it was turnover. I think you're saying that Coast Guard actually stripped the ball on that tackle. The Coast Guard defender came up with it. As he was going down, I think he was able to strip it away from.
So it's ruled a fumble.
We're going to watch. You can see number 24, Rohrer, coming in there. He makes the tackle.
Oh, he's down.
Yeah,
he did rip it away. Very close. Very close.
You can see, watch. Looks like he's going to go down. Right there, he's down, and then he pulls it out. But again, we do not have replay. They called it for Coast Guard, and they'll start positive territory.
Great field position again. There is no review in Division III, so that ball goes over to Coast Guard to the 41, a gain of 6.
See, defensive back.
Ramon Cruz, number 16.
He's going to pull it away, but he was down there.
Tough break there for Merchant Marine. Jamison Kroll couldn't believe it. Good play by Cruz to strip it away and cause the turnover. Sudden change situation here. It's a run by Burns. And he looks like he has the first down to the 36, a gain of 5.
We'll see. You know, we had talked about, too, obviously we can argue the merit of whether that was a turnover or not, but we talked about the need for one of these defenses to create a turnover, to steal a position. Coast Guard was able to do it there. Now the key there for Kings Point is they cannot let it turn into points. Merchant Marine Academy's only let up 30 or more points 3 times this year. 2 of those resulted in losses.
Hensley picking his way forward to the 30.
Coast Guard on the cusp of breaking past that 30-point mark.
And there you see the 3 times this year they've given up 30 points. This will be a Wildcat snap for Hensley. Hensley's going to take the direct snap. He's going to run it over the right side and be swallowed up by Aiden Graham, number 14. But still a positive gain on the play.
Yeah, put him in a nice 3rd down situation here.
And it appears Graham, who made the tackle, is hurt. Big collision there with Hensley.
It'll come out tough to see kind of there what it was. Up, walking off on his own.
Graham, a junior from Allen, Texas, just north of Dallas, leads the team in tackles for loss and tackles overall. 9 tackles against Coast Guard last year. His defensive coordinator said they line him up all over the field, but he'll have to head to the bench here for at least this play. Hensley is going to take the Wildcat snap again. Got a third down.
Got a big man in the backfield as well as a lead blocker, an offensive lineman.
Hensley does have the ability to throw, but he'll run it here. He will pick up the first down into the 25. He's got it. Gain of 3. And now Burns, the quarterback, comes back into the game. And Hensley goes out.
Yep. Kind of tapped himself out there. Jogging off, but certainly seemed like he felt a little something there on that run.
So James Wheeler, the 4th, who had a touchdown run and a touchdown catch against Merchant Marine last year, was first team All-League. He's the back in the backfield with Burns. Back to pass, has time, pump fakes, throws deep near side for Desta, incomplete. Chase Locks there on the coverage, overthrown for Desta.
And they've missed some throws today, but they're good coverage by the Merchant Marine. But once again, though, unable to get pressure without having to blitz. 4-man rush only results in a clean pocket there, but the back end holds up for Kings Point. Good coverage.
Burns in there at quarterback with Wheeler to his right. LeBoulier and Desta, the receivers. This will be a design run for Burns. Jumps over a man, breaks into the secondary, and is spun down inside the 15 for a Coast Guard. First down, a gain of 13.
Good patience on the running there by Burns. Initially, it's not going to be there. Stepping up, then to move to the inside to find the green for the big gain.
Shavy, the cornerback there on the tackle, saved a bigger gain, but it is 1st and 10 from the 13 as Hensley is back in now. And the quarterback is, nope, quarterback's still in there. He's going to take the snap. Hensley's to his right. 1st and 10. Run pass option. Burns directing traffic in the back of the end zone. Incomplete. Overthrown, intended for Brooke Desta. Good coverage there by Merchant Marine.
Yeah, Trent Sterner there in coverage. They actually had it. The receiver was there, open in the flat. Brooke Desta, it took a bit. If he throws it now, a little bit on that hesitation, that's when Desta was open. Sterner, number 10, is able to recognize it, get back into coverage.
High snap on the ground, and Burns falls on it at the 25. Big loss on the play, a loss of about 12. It'll set up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, really haven't been any problems with the snap today. Just over Burns' head there, and smart to not try to pick it up. Make sure they get back on top of it.
3rd and 21 now. They've got to get to the 4-yard line, call it about 20. Merchant Marine late getting a player lined up. They switch sides. Quarterback alone in the backfield. Burns pump fakes. Burns running for the corner, and he's taken down by Brooks Rohi, a backup linebacker, number 33. And now, this is a fairly long field goal. Their freshman kicker, 33 yards is his long for the year. They're going to bring him out. Caleb McClure will try for his longest field goal of the season.
There's no wind kicking into this end of the stadium.
What amounts to basically home plate, 3rd base line is where they're kicking towards. This will be a 35-yard attempt. McClure is 5 out of 7 this season on field goals. He's also kicking from the infield where the dirt is kind of mixed with the grass. Kick is up. Kick is good. Caleb McClure from 35 yards out extends the lead to 6. So the turnover leads to 3 points, and the freshman from Canton, Georgia, knocks it through from 35, 32-26. Last weekend, Fenway Park was what it always is, a baseball field in the home of the Boston Red Sox. You see a time lapse as they created the football field for the Secretaries Cup today. Again, if you're not a big baseball fan, one end zone is basically the third base line, and the other end zone is the right field wall with the green monster in the background. Amazing transformation here at the home of the Red Sox.
For me, no more beautiful sight than seeing a baseball field get turned into a football field. Such proper use of a stadium.
And so the pesky pole down the right field line is at about the 20-yard line on the right side of the field. It's obviously a very quirky baseball stadium. It's very unique in many ways. There are incidentally very few people. There's only about 5 people sitting in the green monster seats, which I have to assume are closed off today, otherwise they'd probably be full. But there's a lot of folks in the suites and a lot of folks in the stands, including students and alumni. The kick by Connor Bates is taken by Shavy. See if he can put off a good return from the 5-yard line. And he is swarmed under at the 21. 16-yard return. And you see the fans up in the green monster. I've been to a lot of baseball stadiums, and I'm not a huge baseball fan, but this one unquestionably my favorite. It's so unique.
Yeah, it's so much history, as we heard head coach C.C. Graham for Coast Guard mention in his speech, but it's delivered a great energy to what was already a fantastic rivalry today. Kudos to the powers that be that made this happen.
Mustaine keeps it up the middle for a positive gain on first down. Those seats during the summer are a little out of my tax bracket, to be honest with you. 6-yard gain for Mustaine, and Merchant Marine now its largest. Check that, they were trailing. No, they have not trailed by this much today. They're down 6. What do they have to do on offense here?
Well, listen, certainly they are trailing, but it's a manageable deficit. They just got to go back to doing what they do. And most importantly, again, we can argue the merits of that turnover. Hold on to the football.
Mustaine pressured, scrambles to the right, throws on the run, and bounces it in, incomplete, intended for Angelo Semino, who had that long touchdown before the half. At about the 45-yard line, the field judge called it incomplete, certainly looked that way.
There was some pressure there. It's going to force Mustaine out on the throw. Oh,
he was out of bounds.
He was out of bounds. He did not hit the ground, but he was in the white when he caught it.
Yeah, he may have actually made the catch, but he was out of bounds when he caught the ball. It appeared from our replay. And it'll set up a big third down here. 3rd and 4. And running hard is Seamus Bonte for the first down. Seven-yard gain for Bonte, a former linebacker.
You see, he's able to get his hands underneath it, and when he made that catch, that knee that was initially down was off the ground. So he was right. He made the catch, but unfortunately ran out of room to do it. Was out of bounds, but able to pick up the first down. That was some great running there. Outstanding push from that O-line.
And a physical run by Bonte as Mustaine into the secondary, spins forward for a first down of the 45 as we come up on 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. 11-yard gain.
Yeah, nice run right off that left side. Able to move the chains again.
Mustaine closing in on 200 yards rushing. We've got him at 30 carries for 175 yards.
Yeah, where they were humming early in this game offensively was those gives on the dive, and then those keeps by him, like we hear.
Misdirection run, leaps over a man, and is tackled at the 49. Cuellar was the hurdle there. 4-yard run. As I'm telling you, guys in football love that hurdle play. Now, everyone saw Saquon do it last year. Everyone's pressing that button to the triangle button to go up top.
Yeah. That was pretty impressive, though. Again, Mustaine's a big boy. When you see him down on the field, he looks like a Bubba.
Yes, yes. Good pickup on first down of 4 yards, nearing midfield. Mustaine again. First down and more, keeps his feet moving, Bubba Mustaine to the 36-yard line. A gain of 15 and a first down. 1 minute to go, third quarter.
Yeah, he pulls it, gets to the edge. Then just see some tough running, lowering that shoulder, spinning out, fighting for yards. Even the Coast Guard coaches had mentioned that the physicality with the way that Bubba Mustaine can run.
Awkward handoff there. Neither player wanted to give up the ball there, and it's no gain on the play, as that might be the last play of the third quarter. There's 25 seconds left, the clock is running. Merchant Marine could probably squeeze in one more play if they rush, but it's questionable here with 15 seconds to go.
I think they're going to be content to let this quarter turnover.
Yep, they're going to let the clock run out here in the third quarter. Coast Guard did all the scoring in that third quarter. They take a 26-21 deficit and turn it into a 32-26 lead. 15 minutes to go to decide the Secretaries Cup. It's Coast Guard 32, Merchant Marine 26 as we head to the fourth. Coast Guard all 11 points in that third quarter to take a 6-point lead headed to the fourth in front of a big crowd here at Fenway Park for the Secretaries Cup. In addition to the Secretaries Cup being at stake today, the winner will finish in second place in the new MAC, the conference both these schools are in, and they'll play in the Fusion Bowl next week on one of the campuses against a team from the Conference of New England. So the season's not over for the team that wins today. It is over for the team that loses, as Springfield has already won the auto bid to the Division III football tournament from the league.
Ultimately, that's what's at stake, though. The bowl game is nice. They both love to play. This is the game that will either put a smile on their face or hang over their head for the next 365 days.
That's correct. Coast Guard won last year. They haven't won back-to-back since 1997. Merchant Marine has the ball to start the fourth quarter with Mustaine, and he is wrestled down by Will Wolf, a captain for Coast Guard. We're here at Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts for the Secretaries Cup, year 45 of this Cup Series. Robert Lee, Craig Hobart, our entire tremendous ESPN crew with you from Beantown. It'll be third down and 6. Merchant Marine is clearly going to go for it on fourth down here, barring some sort of huge loss on this play. Back to pass. No, Mustaine will keep it. Running over the left side, shakes one tackle, but dragged down by Noah Rohrer, who's been active today. It'll set up a huge fourth down coming up.
Well, within Merchant Marine's offense, as you mentioned, they're inside. Once they get to that 4th and 3 or less, they're operating in go-for-it mode.
Jamison Kroll and his offensive coordinator, Jimmy Kickle, are going to talk about what the play call is on this huge play as they try to keep the drive alive, 4th and 3. Endicott in motion. They'll change the play, still 15 on the play clock. Mustaine trying to hear it from Coach Kroll on the far sideline with the crowd for Coast Guard roaring. 6 on the play clock. Mustaine keeps, has the first down, shakes a man, and is driven down to the 20-yard line for a Mariners first down, a gain of 9. Ethan Cumming with the touchdown saving tackle.
Yeah, Coast Guard is able to get penetration on that side, but Mustaine able to kind of work around that little bubble there, get to the edge and pick up the first, as he has been a force on the ground today.
He is over 200 yards rushing in this game, which is a season high. This is his 6th 100-yard rushing game of the season. This time he landed off to the fullback, Bonte. And he fights his way forward to the 15 for a gain of 5.
With the way that he's been able to operate on the edges, those interior defensive players cannot react. Those linebackers, they got to play that dive. And they keep feeding it, really haven't hit big gainers off of those fullback dives, but again, it really keeps that defense honest and has allowed Mustaine to be really active once he does break to the edge.
54 plays for Merchant Marine, 47 runs, 7 passes. Just landing those body blows, to use the boxing analogy. See if they can pay it off here. It's Mustaine keeping it over the right side and stacked up and stopped a couple of yards short of the first down at the 12.
Like there was no Aurora there in position to make that tackle.
This will be the 13th play of the drive as Merchant Marine tries to tie the game. With the kicking problems they've had, I think there's no chance they're going to kick from this point. 3rd and 2.
Especially from this distance as
yes,
well, yeah.
Yes. They've already missed 2 extra points. It's one of the key factors in this game at this point. 3rd and 2 in what should be 4-down territory. Mustaine has the first down and more. Touchdown! Bubba Mustaine from 12 yards out ties the game.
Mustaine's going to use the dive as a lead block. He's just going to follow behind. Use that running lane to go ahead and take it in.
This is the all-important extra point. Carson Bai, a freshman from Liberty Hill, Texas, north of Austin, to give his team the lead. Good snap and hold. Kick is up. It's good. Was not a thing of beauty, but he gets it through. It's 33-32.
In this situation, no style points needed. Just get it through. The back and forth in this great rivalry continues. Coast Guard had taken the lead. Merchant Marine Academy in their style drives it downfield, punches it in, and gets through the uprights.
Bubba Mustaine's second touchdown run of the game, 226 yards rushing, plus the extra point has given Merchant Marine the lead after a 13-play, 79-yard drive that is Mariners football. Took over 7 minutes, 33-32 as we come down the home stretch with 11.5 to go in the 4th. Carson Bai to kick it away. Kick return and kick coverage has been a huge problem for Merchant Marine today. Let's see if Coast Guard can do it again. Pooch kick. And a fair catch called for and made at the 25. You know, not a bad strategy there because the return coverage has been so poor. The leaders of these 2 academies came to a Red Sox game over the summer and threw out the first pitch. And you'll see a picture of that here from the leader of the Merchant Marine Academy. Now, one of the coaches, we will keep him nameless, said that the leader of my academy threw a strike and the leader of the other school threw like a 2-hopper to the plate. Now, we're not going to out someone like 50 Cent here or anything like that, but that's where the rivalry goes. That's how deep it goes.
Yeah, right down to the pitch. they were quick to call that out.
What a great atmosphere here at Fenway Park for this Secretaries Cup, taking it next level from the excitement we see year to year. Handoff for Hensley, breaks a tackle over the left side, has blocking, turns upfield past the 35, and has a first down, a gain of 12.
Now, what's interesting here is in this type of game with a team like the Merchant Marine Academy, there's a lot of time to play, but if Coast Guard doesn't score here, we've already seen the Mariners post 2 7+ minute drives. So if Coast Guard doesn't answer here, they could get to find themselves in a scenario where they don't get much more time to operate in this game.
Handoff for Hensley. And a runaway train to the 44-yard line. He gets going downhill at that 6-foot, 205-pound frame. Tough to stop him. Gain of 7. Still plenty of time, under 11 minutes to go here. Coast Guard with the ball in the black jerseys. Merchant Marine defending in the white jerseys. Coast Guard trails by 1. Hensley again pushes the pile forward for a first down close to midfield.
Yeah, the pile was pushed for him. Great job by that Coast Guard offensive line getting off the ball, creating a surge. He was able to kind of really get downhill and pass the initial line of scrimmage before getting hit. moving those chains, and they're going to split him out wide here. Talk about what a complete, versatile football player that he is.
His head coach says he's the most complete player he's had in 27 years. This will be a designed run over the left side, across midfield, a gain of about 3.
You had mentioned earlier, I thought it was one of the funniest things I had heard, that head coach C.C. Grant told his team they had an away game. He goes, if you are not on time, this bus is leaving. He goes, unless you're number 3, we will wait for number 3. That's how important that he is, that he was the one guy that would keep that bus idling a little bit longer.
Something tells me he probably wasn't late.
Yeah.
These kids have it pretty rough. I mean, it's a demanding lifestyle they lead at these academies academically. Burns throws far side, miscommunication with Desta. And we hear that theme from the coaches every year. Football is the best part of these kids' day. They love to practice. They're getting up early, they're going through regiment, they're doing their entire routine academically, they're taking 19, 20 credit hours. Football is like a release for them. It's the best part of the day.
The Merchant Marine Academy, you had mentioned something before, 8 months that they're out at sea. We talked about a little bit on the call with the coaches is when they're away from football, their time is demanding, but they still got to find time to train. And sometimes you're on a ship, there may not be a great weight situation, but to really find out how committed they are, that they find time to still put in the work.
Third down, pressure off the edge, he throws, he has a wide open man, LeBouillier. First catch of the game, zigzagging through the secondary, inside the 30 for a first down. Good job by Burns, standing in, facing the pressure.
Yeah, Trent Sterner was coming off the edge. He had to travel a little bit of distance to get there, and that time gave Burns just enough time. Sterner's going to be coming into your screen. As you mentioned, Burns sits in there and delivers.
Handoff for Hensley, picking his way forward after the 22-yard completion. Takes it into the red zone at the 20.
Being there, the pressure's coming. He's able to move a little bit in the pocket, create some extra space.
And Burns, the Jersey Shore kid, gave him a piece of his mind, throwing to the flat for Desta. And he is tackled nicely in the open field by Trent Sterner. And it is enough for a first down with 8.5 minutes to go. That was LeBouillier's first catch of the game.
They had tried to hook up a few times earlier in the game, not able to make those connections there. That was a big one.
Bears have it 1st and 10 in the red zone. And a short gain up the middle as we go under 8 minutes to go.
We're seeing Coast Guard kind of a nice little bit of a drive of their own.
And taking some time off the clock, giving their defense some rest after Merchant Marine's been running a lot of plays.
And with those 2 missed extra points, if they even just walk away with a field goal here, it could be big because it pushes it to 4.
Handoff, right side. And spun down inside the 10-yard line. Harrison Hensley to the 9, but it will be 3rd down coming up. Hensley over 170 yards rushing. It's the 7th time this year he's gone over 100 yards. He's gone over 200 twice. He's closing in on that mark. Wholesale substitutions here for Coast Guard as they'll have Hensley and the Wildcat snap here on 3rd down and 3. Wildcat snap to Hensley. Up the middle for the Coast Guard, touchdown! 9-yard run for Harrison Hensley, and the Bears take the lead.
Yeah, no need to even consider a field goal to my poor math. Here, Hensley just keeps it and really kind of walks in. Great job. That offensive line has played really well today, both in protection and in terms of creating running lanes, and that was an easy one there.
And they will go for 2 to make it a 7-point lead with under 7 minutes to go. Now, they only have about 13 on the play clock. They're late getting the play in, or they reset the play clock, okay? So plenty of time to get the play off. Burns in at quarterback. 2-point conversion here to make it a 7-point lead. Burns back to pass, looks right, looks to run, throws, no, fakes the throw, he's out of bounds. Failed conversion, but 38-33 Coast Guard. 11 play, 75-yard drive. 5th lead change of the game, 38-33.
Coast Guard able to counter with a drive of their own, and their key offensive weapon was able to take it in on his own, but Merchant Marine Academy able to take away the 2-point. We've got a great rivalry. We've got a great finish on tap as well.
The mascots along with the Red Sox mascot, 38-33. Bubba Mustaine has had a big game.
Yeah, and a lot of that, as you see, coming on the ground, and it is so key. This is interesting. You will look at the time that remains in this game, just shy of 7 minutes. But the Mariners have posted 2 7+ minute drives. They are looking likely to do that again, and if they could do that, they could go ahead and ice this game here in its final moments. In these final minutes, if they could put together another one of those drives they've shown they're capable of doing.
Shavy trying to start it with a good return. He takes it at the goal line. Shavy has some room and wrestled down from behind by Truxon after a good return close to the 30-yard line, and Mustaine has had a huge game at quarterback.
He has just been a force today. The way that he has been running this offense, his ball handling skills, the few times that they have asked him to put it in the air, he has responded with throws downfield. But really, it's been the way that he has run this football. Again, over 200 yards, and this was the last one that he punched it in.
And it's not hyperbole to say this is the biggest and most important drive of Merchant Marine's season. They're trying to win the Secretaries Cup. Huge day for Mustaine, but it comes down to this. They're down 5 with under 7 minutes to go, 1st and 10. Mustaine keeps and somersaults forward to the 35.
And the way that Coast Guard has played offensively today, it's almost less important that if Merchant Marine scores than if they let Merchant Marine hold on to the ball and score. It's almost like, you know what, if we give up a score within a 2 to 3 minute drive,
right.
That's okay. We can rebound from that. We cannot let them just go 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, 1st down, eat up all the remaining time, and then put in a score that just one score would give them the lead.
Mustaine picks his way forward for a 1st down to the 41, a gain of 6. And again, look at it the other way. Merchant Marine, if they don't score on this drive, this is not an offense that is very adept at going 80 yards in 2 minutes. I mean, they're grinded out 5-6 yards at a time, so this is a huge drive for them with under 6 minutes to go, but they're taking their time. Like you said, I think their goal is to run the rest of the time off the clock and score a touchdown with as little time left to go. Fresh set of downs from the 41. Mustaine keeps. Oh, he fumbled it. It's loose. It's loose, and Coast Guard looks like they've got it. A huge turnover at the 40-yard line. No, Merchant Marine recovered somehow. Ben Reaney's got it. Coast Guard thought they had it. What a break.
He was running hard. Did not see. He's going to go in there as he's been doing all day, fighting for yards, twisting and turning. And it is able to kind of get stripped out. That was Ethan Cumming who was able to strip out the ball, get it loose, and into mad scramble.
3 Coast Guard players fell on the ball and it squirted to Reaney. What a break for Merchant Marine. And it ends up being a big gain on the play, all the way to the 41-yard line now. 18 yards on the play. Not the way they drew it up. Mustaine lost half of his jersey. Tossed that out of the way. Will Wolf.
All kinds of things are flying off Mustaine, of the ball, his shirt. He is running hard today. That's why you order the tearaway shirts.
But to your point, there's only 4 minutes to go now. Now both teams have all 3 timeouts.
Plus a 2-minute.
Correct. The 2-minute timeout as well. But Merchant Marine's more than content to let 20 seconds run off the play clock every time. They're in no hurry here. They've got it at the 39-yard line. Under 4 minutes remaining. Merchant Marine with the ball down by 5. Big hole for Ferris, and he's got a first down to the 30, and that's going to keep the clock moving. 9-yard gain.
The other thing is, too, it ends with those 2 missed extra points, though. A field goal now gets out of play. They've got to be able to punch it into the end zone, for which they certainly seem to be marching towards. And again, this offense, so you mentioned a little bit earlier about the body blows, the boxing terminology. It seems to kind of be wearing here a little bit, defending this offense all day long. Again, they've already had 2 7-minute-plus drives. It wears on you, especially those big guys up front.
Running left, Mustaine. Wrestled down by Lucas White, number 47, after a gain of 2. We're under 3 minutes to go here. It's second down coming up. This play, unless it's an incomplete pass, should take us to the 2-minute timeout. Each team still has 3 timeouts left.
This drive has started with just under 7 minutes on the board as well. They came close, almost created a turnover. Coast Guard again has got to continue as they get there. Swarm tackle, strip of the ball as well.
This should be the last play before the 2-minute timeout, unless it's an incomplete pass. 2 on the play clock. Mustaine keeps and drives his way forward for a positive gain inside the 25. It'll set up 3rd down when we return from the 2-minute timeout. This is drama. Fenway Park, the Secretaries Cup, 38-33. Coast Guard leads. Merchant Marine has the ball. Final 2 minutes when we return. Drama high here in Boston. What a game here in the Secretaries Cup. Crowd roaring at Fenway Park, 38-33. Merchant Marine down 5. They have the ball at the 23-yard line on 3rd down. Clearly 4-down territory here. 2 plays to get 3 yards. Bubba Mustaine under center, blitz coming. He takes it up the middle. He pushes his way forward. Actually handed it off. It looked like to Bonte, the fullback, who does have the, oh no, they're gonna say he's down. The 20.5-yard line. And the clock is running with 1:40 to go. Okay, 4th down. 4th and less than a yard. 1:35 remaining.
If this is right, you know, you kind of almost feel like this is the game, but this is right also in Merchant Marine wheelhouse in terms of being able to convert.
I think they're going to call a timeout. So they're going to let the play clock run down. There's only 9 on the play clock. There's no way they're going to run a play at this point. They're going to let the play clock run down and then call a timeout. Merchant Marine's first of the second half. We will step aside. 1:14 to go in Boston. Biggest play of the game here. 4th down and half a yard. Merchant Marine's basically got to get it to the 20 to keep the drive alive. Mustaine under center. Quarterback sneak, he's got it. He's got it. It'll stop the clock to the 19-yard line with 1:11 to go. 1st and 10. And now tricky situations here with clock management. Coast Guard has 3 timeouts left. Merchant Marine has 2. The clock is running again with 1 minute to go. They're 19 yards away from a go-ahead touchdown.
Yeah, Merchant Marine, again, because of those 2 missed extra points, they cannot play to try to tie this up. They have to get in the end zone, so they have to be aware of time as well. Coast Guard, you got 2 routes. You start using your timeouts, or do you believe in your defense to get the stop?
Now, this is a gain of about 2. Somebody needs, I think Merchant Marine has to call a timeout here, and they do, with only 40 seconds to go. So that's the second timeout for Merchant Marine. We'll take one last timeout. 38-33, Merchant Marine trying to take the lead in the final minute. So many twists and turns to this game, but these were some of the key plays to have the score what it is right now.
Yeah, I mean, you start with the missed extra points that now, when you look ahead, have negated Merchant Marines Academy to get in the position to try a field goal to tie it up. They've got to get into the end zone. And this was a turnover by Coast Guard. You can argue Merchant Marine was down there, and then that would lead. They would turn that turnover to 3 points. That would make this a 5-point game.
1st and 10, second down, Merchant Marine. 1 timeout left for the Mariners from the 17-yard line. Mustaine fakes the pitch. He's back to pass. He's the man in the flat. It is caught by Danny Ferris, who's tackled inside the 10 for a 1st down. It'll stop the clock with 32 seconds to go. They have 1 timeout left. It's 1st and goal.
But it was a big play. Picked up some chunk yardage there. You and I were talking during the break that they were going to have to put it in the air at some point. They did there. Because of that timeout, they can stay with their bread and butter, still run.
Mustaine keeps it over the right side. He's in! Merchant Marine, the go-ahead touchdown with 20 seconds to go!
That drive started with just under 7 minutes to go on the clock. They got it down to 20 seconds with this 2-point attempt.
They're going to go for 2. Very late getting a player onto the field, Coast Guard. 39-38. They're trying to make it a 3-point lead. Bubba Mustaine. And he will not get it. Will not get it. So Coast Guard can win the game now with a field goal, but they have only 20 seconds left.
It was odd, you know, the officials weren't holding up for a substitution. It was almost like Merchant Marine Academy waited, and then they ran into it. This is the boot, finding the back, out of the backfield. That was a big gain. They put him right near the end zone, and then ultimately Mustaine would pull it, take it, and do as he has done all day, score. Just been a force on the ground today, over 200 yards there, putting that one in to give him the lead.
Bubba Mustaine, 274 yards and 3 touchdowns, and leads a clutch 12-play, 70-yard drive. Took 6.5 minutes off the clock. There's only 20 seconds to go.
Thing to watch here, obviously we saw it early on, Robert. Coast Guard had come close to breaking a return. Merchant Marine had adjusted with some pooch kicks, some sky kicks, trying to take that factor away. We'll see how Coast Guard kick return game, what role it could play here very late.
Would be very surprised if they kicked it to any of the returners. Got a sky ball here and get a fair catch. It'd be Carson By to kick it away. 20 seconds left. Clock will start if there's a return. It is a sky ball, and it's going to be fair caught at the 27. 20 seconds. Now, realistically, in the time it would take you to run down the field, but a field goal is in play here, and they have all 3 of their timeouts. The kicker made a 35-yard field goal earlier in the game.
His long on the year, 30s.
Correct. That was the longest field goal he's made all year, so you've got to get it. You feel like to at least the 25-yard line to give him a realistic chance. You're starting from your own 30. You do have all 3 timeouts and a big play offense with big play receivers, Desta, LaBoulier. A field goal wins the game. There's 20 seconds to go. Sean Burns, the quarterback. Takes the snap. Pass time, steps up, throws deep near side. It's overthrown, incomplete. Oh, flag down. Flag down as Badani was hip checked. It'll be 15 yards and a 1st down with 15 seconds to go.
Chase Locks there in coverage.
I don't know if they're discussing if it was uncatchable. The ball was about 5 yards overthrown for Badani. There is a flag on the field at the 35-yard line. College football, 15 yards, not spot of the foul, like the NFL.
pass interference, defense, before 15-yard penalty, and first down.
Very few penalties in this game, but a big one here. Moves it out to the 45-yard line.
And there's where it was. I think if Locke's runs with him, he's fine. He throws like a little bit of a wing into the receiver. So watch that right arm. You see that shove away? He just continues to run with him. He is fine. It was that little bit of that chicken wing there that drew the flag.
15 seconds left. Burns throws over the middle, has a man. To the 45, should just go down here. He does. With 8 seconds left, they call a timeout. 7 seconds to go. Again, was running there for about another 3 seconds. They do call their first timeout, but there's only 7 seconds left now. They're at the 45-yard line.
We've talked about it earlier. The Merchant Marine Academy has been unable to get any real pressure today without blitzing. Do they drop 8? Give Burns some time, feel like they can get there with just a 3-man rush? Or do they bring pressure and try to force a quick decision?
Again, Caleb McClure is the kicker. He made a 35-yard field goal earlier in the game. That was his longest field goal of the season. You feel like they've got to get to at least probably somewhere between the 25 and the 30 to have a realistic shot. There's no wind, but they need another 15 to 20 yards on one play.
Yeah. Not much wind, and if there is any wind going in this direction, it will be to his back. So they are in a favorable situation in that, Mike, but you're right. They need to give him a realistic chance.
They have 2 timeouts left. It's also got to be a quick play. The quarterback cannot scramble around. There's only 7 seconds left. Burns calling for the crowd to be louder here as they take the snap on offense. There's only 7 seconds left, so if you catch the ball, you've got to go down right away. You can't run around trying to get extra yards.
And because of that, if I was Mariners, I would actually think about bringing pressure here. Try to force a quick throw.
They reset the clock to 9 seconds, which at this point is huge. 2 extra seconds. Badani is the receiver to the bottom of your screen. Desta and Laboulier, their 2 best receivers, are at the top of the screen for quarterback Sean Burns. From the 45, got to get at least 15 to 20 yards to set up a realistic field goal try. Everyone in this stadium is standing. What a finish we have here. Coast Guard down by 1 with 9 seconds to go, trying to drive for a go-ahead and possibly game-winning score. I think they're trying to start the play clock, which shouldn't be a factor here. Everyone's set up and ready to go. 20 on the play clock. Here we go. 9 seconds to go. Time for 2 more plays, max. Burns out of the shotgun. Takes the snap, drops back, throws far side. Incomplete. Intended for Desta. 5 seconds to go. Caleb Green on the coverage.
And they did bring pressure on that one as well. I think you cannot give them the time, especially here, because you're really not going to get yourself in a position to make that throw, make that kick here. You see, they're bringing 5. They're able to quickly get there. Don't allow Burns on that last one to be able to step into that throw.
Merchant Marine will call its final timeout. Now the question that has to be asked now, with only 5 seconds left, do you have to try the Hail Mary at this point to get 15, 20 yards and try to call the timeout? May be too much to ask.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to, if you want to try to get a little bit closer, you got to do maybe a quick out to the sideline, step out of bounds. I don't even think you have the time to call a timeout. I think here you have to really take your shot. Because as you mentioned, they're a good 20 yards away from even giving their field goal kicker a chance. So it's a matter of, do you try to get yourself with something really quick, buy yourself an extra 10 yards, get a little bit closer for a potential Hail Mary, or do you take it here?
He made that 35-yarder earlier in the game. It was his longest of the season. As a point of reference, that 10-yard out they just ran to Desta took 4 seconds. Yeah. It went from 9 down to 5.
I don't think he's going to be a factor in this. It's just a matter of, do you want to try to set yourself up a little bit closer for a second throw into the end zone, or do you take it here?
Burns is able to throw the ball into the end zone from here. They have some big receivers. LeBoulier was a volleyball star in high school. He's 6'2", he can go up and get it. Desta is athletic, but this may be the final play of the game.
Previous play, the Mariners dialed up pressure. We'll suspect them to do it again, and they're showing it.
3 receivers to the left. Here we go. Burns back to pass, he's pressured. He steps up, he throws it deep to about the 5-yard line. It is incomplete. Merchant Marine wins 39-38. This is the first ever Secretaries Cup decided by 1 point going back to 1981. What a thriller at Fenway. Merchant Marine comes back to beat Coast Guard by a point.
You just kind of said it there, at Fenway. The move to this legendary sporting venue. Both of these teams responded with such an outstanding game.
In the end, it was a Bubba Mustaine 7-yard touchdown run with about 20 seconds to go that wins the game. What a game he had. 274 yards, 3 touchdowns. Oh, by the way, he also threw for 150 yards and 2 scores.
Part of this program, his brother was one of the top defenders a few years ago. Brooks Roheed, number 33, is the one that gets in, really puts Burns on the move. That's thrown up, and then big number 99, Zodek Holub, who had a huge interception in this game a year ago. He's 6'4", 220 pounds. He's in that mix, gets up there, knocks it away.
That pressure didn't allow Burns to really set up and launch everything he had into the ball. The ball was at about the 5-yard line when it came down. Due to the pressure, as now the teams will line up at midfield. They'll go through the alma maters, as with the Army-Navy game. Always the goal is to sing second. They play the alma mater, the losing team first, the winning team second. That's the goal.
Even sweeter for Merchant Marine Academy, a bowl game on the backside of this as well.
Jamison Kroll, after his team played poorly in this game last year, lost 42-21. A stirring victory today, 39-38. The Mariners of the Merchant Marine Academy hail from Kings Point, New York. KP, as they're often known by. They're going to get to raise that Secretaries Cup with a thrilling win, Craig.
Yeah, just a great game for what is a great rivalry. And fitting of the venue move as well.
Jamison Kroll, the head coach. What a weight that's got to be off his back. You know, he's been reliving that loss from last year.
Yeah, imagine the phone will ring a little bit more this week than it did a year ago.
Here's the trophy presentation.
They started the game with a long drive to put points on the board.
You caught it with 7 minutes to go. You said they're just going to try to run the rest of the time off the clock and score a touchdown.
Yeah, it was a back and forth slugfest, but it kind of, Merchant Marine Academy got themselves in a situation late in this game where they were able to lean on their strength, run the football, possess the ball, and ultimately punch it in to get the lead, hold on to it.
And in just a few moments, we will be joined by the winning head coach, Jamison Kroll, along with the star, unquestioned star of today's game, sophomore quarterback Bubba Mustaine. As they finish up the team huddle in a thrilling win for Merchant Marine. And in a day with a lot of photos here at Fenway Park, they're going to take the sweetest photo of all for the Mariners.
You and I have been lucky enough to call this game for quite a few years, and I will say, I feel like the precedent has been set in this type of setting and everything. It's, again,
this was the best one.
Yes.
I mean, we've been doing this, I think, 5 years in a row now, 6 or 7 times total, and this was the best one between the atmosphere, the venue, the game itself. A lot of these games haven't been that close, to be honest with you. They've been 2 touchdown type of games. This was the best one, without a doubt.
And you have to give C.C. Grant and the Coast Guard staff credit for making this. Again, this was lopsided. Merchant Marine had owned this series for a while. Coast Guard got the win last year. Battled valiantly this year and have really turned this into a heated, fun rivalry. And again, one of the best kept secrets in all of college football. Hopefully an afternoon like this, a setting like this, helps to turn it to not be a secret anymore.
We are now joined now by the winning head coach, Jamison Kroll of Merchant Marine Academy. Coach Robert Lee, Craig Harper with you. Congratulations on the win. I mean, was that fun? 39-38. I know it's even sweeter because you're on the right side of the score, but Fenway Park, the excitement of the game, give us what's going through your mind right now.
A whole lot is going through my mind, fellas. You know, our mantra this year was restore order, and it had nothing to do with this game last year. It had to do with how we finished the entire season, losing 3 straight last year. These guys were bought in. Coast Guard is a phenomenal football team this year. There was no way it was going to end any differently than this. So down to the wire with our guys on top. They did a tremendous job. They bought in all year. Process over results every single play. So defense made a huge play when they needed to.
Coach, you know, over the years, we've seen some outstanding quarterbacks get under center for you. But the job that Bubba Mustaine did today through the air, the way he gritted out runs, just talk about your performance from your quarterback.
He's a tough kid. He works his butt off. He's bought in completely to what we're doing as a sophomore. Does great in the classroom, does great in the regiment. And then the guys around him are blocking their butts off. You know, Sonny Endicott, Dallas DeForest had tremendous days today blocking the linebackers, guys that are outweighing them. And the offensive line did a tremendous job as well.
Coach, I thought you set the tone early. You go for it on 4th down from about your own 25-yard line, first drive of the game. The aggressiveness and particularly the play at the end of the first half, the long touchdown pass, was that an aggressive tone you were trying to set?
Talk to Coach Kickle. All Coach Kickle said was play to win, and I said, all right, let's do it. And he's the one who made the call. He drew it up. This is pretty awesome, fellas. And we made the call, and it was a great play.
And to that, Coach, you got some more to play for because of this win, right?
No doubt. We got another one next week now.
Coach, congratulations on the win. Enjoy it. Have a safe trip back to Kings Point. We enjoy it.
Hey, Craig and Robert, I appreciate everything you guys do. You guys have done a tremendous job with this game for 5 years, highlighting our midshipmen and our academy. Best brotherhood in the nation. Thanks to all our alums for coming out and supporting at Fenway Park. It was awesome, man.
Coach, thank you for those kind words. A fantastic show today here at Fenway. Jamison Kroll and his team, a 39-38 win, and we're going to be joined here in just a moment by the unquestioned star of today's game, quarterback Bubba Mustaine, a sophomore from the Tucson area out in Arizona. Bubba, Robert Lee, Craig Harbert with you. Congratulations on the win. Let's talk about the numbers first, right? 274 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. By the way, you also threw for 150 yards and 2 scores. What's going through your mind right now? I mean, is this the highlight of the football career to this point in your life?
Yes, sir. I mean, this game means so much to me. I saw my brother playing it for 4 years. You know, this brotherhood, you know, all these people standing right here, like they're the reason I do it. They're the reason I put my body on the line. I know each of them would do the same for me.
What did you tell the rest of the team? Because it seemed to play out perfectly to get the ball back with just under 7 minutes and to be able to drive the ball downfield and get that go-ahead score. But what was going through your mind? What did you tell those guys in the huddle when you started that drive?
You know, at the end of the day, I knew these guys had my back. And no matter what was going to happen, we were going to come out with a win today. There was no other option here at Fenway Park. You know, coaches put us in a great position. These guys had my back all day, worked their butts off. Defense came up clutch at the end, got it done.
Now your teammates are giving you the Wayne's World "we're not worthy" over there. They're bowing down to you. We got to ask you, your brother was a standout here, CJ. We got to ask you about not only him keeping that legacy going, but your other brother, Tyler, who didn't come to Merchant Marine. He's playing at Arizona. What does this mean to you and your family watching back home?
Yes, sir. I mean, those two guys, they're my inspiration. They're the ones that have done everything to me. And at the end of the day, they've led me to this success. You know, making me better each and every day from when I was a kid. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's not happening without them.
Bubba, congratulations on the win. Enjoy it with your teammates. Best of luck next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Bubba Mustaine joining us here as Jamison Kroll gets the best shower of all. Doesn't feel too cold today on a beautiful day at Fenway. 39-38 the final. Merchant Marine beats Coast Guard in a thriller in the shadow of the Green Monster. We'll step aside, and when we return, we'll have the trophy presentation. Merchant Marine wins at 39-38. Not hyperbole to call this the best Secretaries Cup ever. Merchant Marine rallies in the final 20 seconds to beat Coast Guard 39-38 and takes home the Secretaries Cup. Craig, what a day. Fenway Park, the game lived up to expectations.
Yeah, we talked about at the top, you do not come to one of these academies to play football, but it is a big part of what they do while they're here. It helps shape them into the men that they become as they go into service for these academies and for our country. And you see the heart, the grit, the passion that they laid out on the field today, and it's great to see, to know what their next step in life is going to be, that they carry forth what they showed today in their careers, either in the Coast Guard or for the Merchant Marine Academy. It's so great to see what an outstanding rivalry and the way these two battled today. We're all winners. I've been a part of it.
Merchant Marine improves to 7-2. Coast Guard season ends at 7-3. That will do it from Fenway Park. The 45th edition of the Secretaries Cup very possibly was the best ever. For our entire tremendous ESPN crew and my partner Craig Harbert and Robert Lee saying so long. Final score from Boston, Massachusetts. Merchant Marine 39, Coast Guard 38. We'll talk to you again next year, the Secretaries Cup. Have a great night, everybody.